hate puppies.
It's good podcast.
I feel threatened. You're coming off the wagon. Coming out of the boot.
That's it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House. Thank you so much for joining us again this week. Definitely glad to be here. Again, a week of too much traveling, if you ask me. So,
Dude, you've been traveling like a fiend.
dude, I'm
Like
glad
a
to be
mug.
home.
You've been all over the world.
I have, but I'm home today
Yeah, you are.
for a minute, then back to Memphis again.
When are you going there?
Wednesday.
You'll be walking in Memphis?
I'll be walking in Memphis.
Walking with my feet 10
There you
feet
go.
off of the earth.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the
You've
one.
been there.
Actually,
My buddy Kaz was just in Nashville. I know you guys have been, but he says it's the most amazing
It is.
town ever.
Yeah.
He
the
was
best party
He
going.
was like texting us. So he was there last week on like a Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday or something, and he was like texting us the entire time, like every bar's packed, everybody's
all the
awesome,
time, every day.
everybody's having
Is
a good
he single?
time.
Is he divorced
Yeah.
yet? Oh, then it is the high water mark
Yeah.
for pootie hounding.
Well, it's
'Cause
bachelorette party central is what I've heard.
Really?
It literally is
Yeah.
the most frequented bachelorette party location in the U.S. It's
That's
like
crazy.
unbelievable, and they cater to it because like they got all like the bike bars and everything,
Yeah.
and all it is full of bachelorettes, and all you hear is woo, woo. They just scream to the point that it's like become a joke. All the Nashville people like woo, woo, like they're coming. It's wild.
Sounds like a cool place to go.
Yeah.
There's this painting they have there. It's a mural that someone did, and it's these giant wings, like the size of a building.
So everybody takes their picture
Every
there.
girl needs to get their Instagram picture where they walk
Yeah.
up to the wings, and then it looks
They're not
like
red by any chance, are they?
no, no,
The guys get those.
Yeah.
no one goes on their bachelorette party during the time of month.
Yeah.
But it's like now there's a line
Yeah.
of women. Like if you go there, like say like 11 in the morning, there'll be a line an hour long just to stand in front of a mural, and all the women are there doing it. It's
Really?
crazy. So it'd be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
If you just sat there and handed out rosés, you'd just be like set.
That was like the last time we were in Key West. I wanted to go down to the point and get a picture taken in front of the
most
buoy.
southern point
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
U.S., of course.
And I was like, I knew people would be there, right? It's a tourist attraction. There was a line 100 yards long, and I was
Damn.
like, we're just gonna keep on moving past this. Like, there's no way I'm gonna wait in line to get a picture somewhere. Like, I'm
Right.
sorry.
Yeah, that sounds miserable.
Yeah.
I don't think the picture's that important.
No.
But you should see these women lining up at the wings. I mean, it's killer.
You get home and all of the bachelorettes from your party have the exact same Instagram, Facebook,
Right.
Twitter
they,
picture.
they all would. Yeah, it's insane. You sit there with a Yeti cooler full of chick drinks and just clean up.
Nail it.
or Arctic,
No,
whatever.
would you really want to be seen on the streets of Nashville with an Arctic?
I'm an Arctic guy.
We've covered this, Troy. It's a bad decision. Horrible decision.
Did you see the article the other day about igloo? Some kid climbed in an igloo cooler.
I did see that and locked himself in.
What?
So Igloo makes this pretty good sized cooler that actually has like a physical snap, like auto close, and like has a key. And the little kid climbed in and it like playing hide and seek or something.
That thing locked.
And it slammed down and locked him in, and he started freaking out. And luckily, I mean, he was around people.
Well, luckily, it wasn't a Yeti. It's airtight. Igloo's got to let air in. No, but I mean, honestly, that kid would have
Yeah,
died, but
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
parents just happened to like
They heard him.
be around
They
and
heard
heard
him
him
screaming.
screaming, crying in there. I mean,
How
that's crazy.
scary
That's
is that?
that
That's
quick.
insane.
You know, you go take a nap.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or a long dump.
That's
Yeah.
true. All that spraying going on in my bathroom, you wouldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
What's that? Forget it.
Yeah.
My butthole's clean.
I mean, that's scary. I mean, you wouldn't think you don't think about safety regulations for coolers, but after hearing that, you're like, there's got to be, right?
I mean,
No.
You don't think so?
I wouldn't think so.
they
I
do
bet
that
there are
with
now.
refrigerators. Like you have to be able to
Yeah.
open it.
They do it with walk-in coolers too.
Not Yeti. Igloo did a voluntary recall
Yeah.
just after this one instance.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, nah, screw that. We got to change something. So they're changing the way the latch system works, where you have to physically latch it from the outside. It won't just automatically lock, which I think is pretty
makes
stand up of Igloo to go, you know what? We're issuing a voluntary recall because that's going to cost them a fortune.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't think of that prior, honestly, during R&D.
That's what I was going to say.
This isn't the first time a
Head
kid's...
should roll for that on the engineering side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, anything that auto locks from the outside, it's a little sketchy.
But, I mean, you get it, right? Like, you got a cooler, and, you know, the way they're building these coolers, Yetis, Arctics, and all these knockoffs, like, you're trying to make the most efficient cooler ever. Leaving the top open or not getting a
the
good
number
seal
one killer.
is what's going to kill your ice.
If you have a $1,000 cooler and you don't close the top, it's a fucking bucket.
It's a styrofoam cup. Like, it's got some insulation on the side, but
not
it
doing
ain't
much for you.
Yeah,
though.
and that's what Igloo. I mean, that's what the Yetis of the world figured out. Like, yeah, you can insulate the wall, but the top is where
better latch.
Yeah,
When you pull the latch on the Yeti, you can hear the air evacuate. It's like that last second, and then it's over. Nothing's coming in. So
I guess next they'll have to figure a way to actually vacuum out the air.
Oh yeah, like you hit a button, suck all the air out.
Because they say the air's,
That's the death of it.
Because I read an article once about like how to make your cooler more efficient, and even cheap coolers, they say, cool it off first, bring it inside for a day, so it's not a lot of people keep them outside in the heat.
Yeah.
So and then throw a sacrificial bucket of ice in there, let it freeze, everything. Dump all that out. Put whatever you're going to put in there. Make sure that's cold. Everybody puts hot drinks in there. You should actually have them in the fridge. Have them down to 40 degrees before you throw them in there.
You may be onto something with that vacuum idea, though. Like, I would bet an Igloo cooler, if you were able to suck all the air out, would work almost as well as
So the last thing they say is if you have any space at the top of your, whatever you have in there, fold up towels and put them in there. That way when you shut the lid, there's less air in there because the towels are taking up more space. The air is what's doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they say. Fill the cooler with stuff. So, science.
But, yeah, that'll be next. I'll have to.
Well, come out with Bauer coolers, man.
Patent pending.
Put wheels on them.
Of course.
Yetis have wheels now.
Now.
Everybody knows
after
that.
this podcast.
I'd like to know.
Yes, that's what it was.
I'd like to know how those work, too, because from the picture, it doesn't look like it's going to work.
They look awful.
Yeah,
Really?
they look awful.
They look stupid.
Yeah. And
It's
they
the
look,
one Yeti product I'm not behind.
They're all-
that bucket, that's an intelligent $50 bucket.
they're all
Isn't it
hanging
just
out.
a 5-gallon bucket? Like, what?
Yes, I don't
Yeah.
understand. I will never understand it. It's the world's most expensive 5-gallon bucket.
What?
/seat.
It's
All
crazy.
buckets are seats, right?
Yeah, but this
Not like
this,
the Yeti.
this looks like a 5-gallon bucket with a Yeti version of a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
Like it does nothing that a 5-gallon bucket doesn't do, right?
It's stronger.
really?
Yeah.
They say it's like the strongest bucket in the world. But I mean, still.
But you know
For
how thick a
$5.
Yeti is. So imagine how small the interior of a 5-gallon Yeti bucket's going to be.
Well, it still holds 5 gallons, so it must go out. It must be like a bigger bucket.
Does it say 5 gallons on it, though? It might not say 5 gallons.
No, in Yeti, you may be onto something.
Yeah.
Just our bucket.
Yeah.
Have you seen their keg cooler? It's a
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's a Yeti keg tub.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't understand the logic there.
Oh, I
it's
have
still
seen that,
it's
yeah.
open to the air. But it's the ultimate like
Because there's Kennedys that will buy that
Yeah.
shit.
It says
well,
Yeti on it.
My frat's cooler. You've seen
Yeah.
our ice bucket.
Yeah.
But that's it. If you're having a keg party and someone shows you have a Yeti bucket, people go, "Ooh, Yeti bucket."
No, they don't.
People go,
Really?
ooh, I'm going to steal that motherfucker
Yeah.
later.
These dummies
That's
bought a bucket.
Probably
Yeah.
more accurate.
It's like, do you know how much ice you could have to go through before you get the return on investment on that
Yeah.
$150 bucket?
But how can a bucket, even if it has more
bucket,
insulated
it
walls,
can't do anything.
like it's still open to the air?
Yeah, but it's still better insulated on the bottom half, right? So yes,
I
it's-
guess, but it seems like that one seems frivolous, and I have my
Yeah.
line is much further out than most people.
True.
when it
Yeah, if
comes
you're
to Yeti.
saying
seems
saying
frivolous,
if you're saying it's silly, then yeah, that's probably silly.
probably fairly silly. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not going to hold it against it.
No, you're still Team Yeti.
You know
for
what
life.
was silly that messed me up this past week? I had to go to San Diego last weekend. I was
Yeah.
flying out Saturday morning. I had to leave at 4 a.m. or I had to get up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
to, get out and get to the airport, do my whole thing. Well, the night before, I decided to go to some event called Smoked, and it's like
Smoking meats.
Yeah, it was barbecue and whiskey
Here in
and
Richmond?
wine tasting.
That's awesome.
And
Where was this?
down at the Main Street station, you know how they
Yeah.
rebuilt that?
How was that? I haven't been in there since they renovated.
It was sweet.
It looks
It's
awesome. From
much
the
better than the
exterior.
convention center, which sucks for the convention center. 'cause
Yeah.
It's
You
a
go.
much cooler venue,
Yeah.
just down the
The
road.
convention. Oh,
The Richmond
the Coliseum or the convention center?
The convention
Convention
center.
center.
Oh, okay.
So
Which that's nice, but it looks exactly like a hotel conference.
looks like every other
convention
convention
center.
center,
Yeah.
whereas that place at least has character. Like,
Yeah, because it's all glass and
yeah,
everything.
there's glass everywhere. You're in an old train station. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of cool. But I didn't expect that they were going to have like as much whiskey. I mean, I guess I should have known, but like I walked in and immediately there's like the Buffalo Trace guys.
Oh,
And
wow.
they've got all the stuff I can't afford.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, well, let me try the Eagle Rare. And they're
So
like,
is this like you buy a ticket and samplers, or you
Yeah.
pay each time you go up, or
But-
how does it work?
no, it's samples.
Okay, so
included
you
in
buy the
ticket.
entrance to the smoked event, and then you're just eating and drinking.
You got it.
Oh,
They were
wow.
like $90 tickets, but I didn't.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't pay for them.
Yeah.
I ended up getting hooked up like through my wife's work.
That's still not a bad ticket, honestly. If you're going to go around and sample a ton of different
For what?
bourbons and eat all kinds of delicious meat, I
For
mean,
what I ingested, like just across the board,
Yeah.
I spent far more than $90. That was for sure.
Really?
Oh my gosh, because I was drinking high-end whiskeys.
yeah.
like,
Will they
all
give you a
night long.
taster
Well,
of
how
it?
many of those are you drinking?
So you would be surprised. Like they give you, maybe
Tiny shots.
sure, like a third of a shot,
Yeah.
each one. But like you go to Buffalo Trace and you're like, let me try the Buffalo Trace. Let me try the Eagle Rare. Let
Yeah.
me try and you go down the line. Well, I've had a shot and a half easy by the time I've walked away from, that one.
Which
and there's
is $15, $20 worth of liquor if you're out somewhere
Yeah.
else.
And there's 50 more places. So like at first I was pacing myself pretty well. I was just mostly eating and like having the occasional sip. And then after about an hour and a half, all of a sudden I like had that epiphany like, dude, you're not doing well. like
Yeah.
you're very drunk.
Yeah.
I was like, oh crap. So they're having to like drink ciders and stuff.
Did
just
it all
to kinda,
get intermingled too? Because you're just sampling so many different
It
ones.
starts to, and then the Virginia ABC store showed up, where all the places that are distilling, like within like the region,
Yeah.
were there. But then you had like the Virginia ABC store guys who were just volunteers, who were like, these are all the ones that weren't represented that we like. And they had just
Really?
Oh, wow.
boatloads of Irish whiskeys and bourbons and whiskeys. And then I found out that everyone makes a gin. I guess gin's making a resurgence. So now I'm going around trying all the gins. It got out of
Yeah, gin is
hand.
really popular right now.
I didn't realize how popular it had become.
Yeah, I'd heard. I mean, I don't drink gin, but I heard about that.
They had gins there that I've never tasted anything like them. Like some that were already citrusy, other ones that were really like
Really?
junipery, other ones that were like you couldn't barely identify it as a gin.
Right.
I was like, what is happening here?
I thought about you, Brendan, the other day because I went to the liquor store and walked in, and 5 feet from the entrance was the sales lady, the rep.
Oh gosh, they're the worst. They get me every time.
Dude, got me straight. I mean, hard sell.
What was she pushing?
She was it was a Kettle One rep or whatever. I mean, I don't know if she was Kettle One
I
or.
assume she was gross looking.
No, not at all.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're
She-
always hot.
She wasn't like a knockout, but she
But she was.
She's attractive.
She's a Chicago 7. Which,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
in the liquor store, she moves up to
and
an
she
8 or
was
9.
super
Yeah.
nice and super, knowledgeable and all that stuff. And she had 3 different kinds and made me try all of them. 2 of them were garbage. One of them was tolerable. Of course, she hard sells me on it, so I ended up buying a $27 bottle of Kettle One vodka that
The best you've ever had.
not even close.
Right.
And it's on me. I could have told her to pound sand,
Yeah,
or I
yeah.
could have walked right by her. Like some
It's just
people
hard to do. Once you go, I'm going to try this, you're already
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you're mentally committing
Because you
to.
feel bad for her time.
Yeah, you're like, I'll
Yeah.
buy something as long as something's worth buying.
Well, and I'm
Right.
like, you're here on a Friday night at 5 o'clock. I know that's not what you want to be doing right
Yeah.
now.
Right.
Yeah, it's your job, but I know you'd rather be. So I'd gone in there to buy like Pinnacle, $20 for a handle.
Right.
I'm in there buying this, and I'm like, I don't even want this. So I end up buying that and Tito's, which is another high-end vodka,
which is good.
which is good. And I'm like, I'm walking out of there with $50 worth, $45 worth of vodka that's combined volume isn't as much as the $20 bottle I would have been happy with. And I'm like, what have I done, man?
They get you, man. They get you.
Genius.
But that's how it was working by the end of Smoked.
Yeah.
Because by the end of that, I'm like, well, that may be the finest gin I've ever had. I was like, how much for a bottle of that?
Oh, so you could buy it there too?
Yeah, they were selling
much did you come
all
home
this
with?
shit.
That's genius, dude.
Bottle of gin, bottle of whiskey, and then some kind of cream whiskey liqueur that I was just like, if I ever drink coffee without this again, slap me.
Yeah.
At the time. Like,
Yeah.
This
Had
is
it-
all. I
haven't had it with your
I
coffee
haven't
yet.
cracked a single one of those. This shit's disgusting. All of those are gross. I
That's
don't want-
awesome.
That is, dude, it's one thing to have that event, to sell your product after you've coerced everyone into getting intoxicated off of it. It's
Yeah.
just genius.
It is.
They were.
Way to go,
everybody
government.
was hammered in there by the end.
Yes.
And so I'm standing around at the end. My wife comes walking over and she takes one look at me and it's like, what are you doing? And I was like,
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about? She's like, you got to be out of here at 4 a.m. I was like, well, I didn't really know the guys.
What time
like,
is this?
it's like 10:30. I'm not thinking.
Oh.
But so
Yeah.
we get home and I'm like, all right, I got to pack.
Yeah.
And I'm just numb to
Yeah.
the world.
Throwing shit in the suitcase.
So I was like, oh, this is going to be tough. I just went and got the biggest suitcase we have and brought it down. I was just like, I'll just take everything.
Yeah.
Just filled it all in. I got there to San Diego. I had 7 pairs of shoes. I was like, I can't even wear all these shoes. Like, what the fuck happened?
Might go to the gym. May
Yeah.
need flip flops.
Yeah.
Also, slippers are kind of cool.
I had a full gym outfit. Never went to the
Yeah.
gym.
I
Got
do
my-
that.
cowboy boots, check.
Yeah.
Work
Yeah.
boots, check.
Exactly.
I got to go on the job site.
Right.
I had everything. I mean, I could when I got
You
there and
need
opened
dress
it up.
You too, because I might have a layover in Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. That was I was ready to go. And so it got to the point where I was like, during our sales meeting, I was changing outfits 2-3 times a day. Like,
Yeah.
all right, well, here's in the morning, sports coat up. They're like, all right, change. I'm changing into something else. Like, we're going out for the night. Ooh, I'll change into this. Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy. But I packed everything. That's
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
did.
I had a backpack. I had
How
a
miserable was the
carry-on.
flight?
Oh, so I'm
Is it
driving.
a straight flight?
No, out of Richmond. You can't get anywhere but Richmond.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So I'm driving down
Where
the
is
road.
as far west as you can get on a nonstop out of Richmond? I mean, I know it's got to be
don't
Midwest
know.
somewhere, right? Chicago,
There's-
Houston.
You can get to Chicago and Detroit
Yeah.
direct, strangely. But
So where'd you fly through?
Atlanta.
That
what
always
everyone
kills
knows.
me. I know that always kills me whenever you have to go like you're on the flight for an hour and a half and you've gone 0 miles closer to
Yeah.
where you need to
It's
go.
the
Yeah,
worst.
you're like,
The worst is when you have to go past.
dude, that's the worst.
I hate it.
Yeah, I
just
actually won't book
actually
it.
flew to Jacksonville on Friday.
By
and
way of
half
LaGuardia.
By way of
half
Boston.
of them were going to Boston first. I mean, going to New York. And I'm like, fuck, I refuse.
Yeah,
I do
I
too.
absolutely refuse.
Yeah.
I absolutely will not.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no.
that doesn't make sense. I'll go a little east or west,
Yeah.
but I'm not going north when I need to go south.
Yeah, I know. I
Absolutely
know almost
not.
everything goes out of Charlotte or Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating to do it, though. But I was so driving down the road. It's like,
The people watching in Atlanta is probably the best on the planet.
At
oh,
the
it's-
airport?
It's
Yeah.
great. So it must have been about 4:45 in the morning, and I'm like, all my stuff's in the car, and I'm going down the road, and some song comes on, and it's not even like a good song, and I'm not kidding. I was fist pumping going down the road,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and I'm like singing along, and I
I
was
know
like,
that
I'm
means
still drunk.
and I was like,
Yep.
wait a minute. It's like, what kind of an asshole is fist bumping down the road
At
to
5.
Miley Cyrus at 4:45
Yeah.
in the morning?
Baby, you're
Party
a
in the USA.
firework.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah. And I was just pumping away, and I was like, okay, dude, put your hands on the wheel.
Yeah.
And slow down.
Yeah.
You are drunk.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit.
Probably hauling ass, changing lanes.
Yeah, I
too.
was.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
having a blast. I was like, got the
Yeah.
road to myself.
Thought you were going to
Yeah.
spring break.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, just stop. Just
Yeah.
stop. So I slowed it down.
Put it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
No.
And then
No.
Right.
No, Brendan.
And I was apparently I must have been fairly fucked up because I parked in one garage, and when I got back, 5 days later,
You didn't know it's garage.
I'm walking through the wrong garage. Like, I know I was on level 2, and I know I was right here, and then it hit me after like 15 minutes of freezing walking around. I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, it's got to be that garage over there. Sure enough, it was right where I thought it was, but. So it's like nothing was computing.
No.
Like nothing was adding up.
Yeah, you hate you get your DOI at 4:45
On the way to a work
on the way to
function.
a week-long work event.
Oh,
So I had to. My brother moved here.
Yeah,
from-
did he
from-
finally move?
from Florida? Yeah. So on Friday, I flew down Friday night. Got an Uber to Jacksonville, Florida. Got an Uber to his place. Jumped straight in his 26-foot U-Haul and drove it the fuck back.
Non-stop.
So no
No
I was
overnight.
kind of torn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I got there. At,
Was he following you?
He
and
was already
something?
gone.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he left like 4 hours before me because he's got a
Just
toddler.
left the keys for you and
Yeah,
shit.
he's got a toddler. He's like, we need to leave when the kid's about to go to bed.
Yeah.
So they left at like 6 p.m. And I got there at like 10. So it's a 9-hour drive.
You didn't have anything in tow either, right? Like you.
No.
It's so weird flying without gear.
Yeah,
just
I looked like a terrorist. Like I was going one way. I had a book and some deodorant. You know what I mean?
like this guy's not
Yeah,
coming back.
that's
This
right,
is not
yeah.
a good sign.
Farewell, sweet world. Yeah. Right. D.B. Cooper. or
He
something.
must. Be,
Yeah.
He must be going to die. He's headed to Jacksonville.
That's
for
right.
Soul.
For
A
sure.
book and
Yeah.
deodorant.
Yeah, yeah.
No toothbrush. Like
Yep.
I'm not going to get that far.
Who needs deodorant in Jacksonville?
So
Everybody.
Well, everybody needs it.
it's tough because it's like I said, it's 10:30, and I'm like, they're stopping in Lumberton, which is 5 hours away, and I'm like, I got till 3 in the morning to get there, and I was feeling good. Luckily, I was tired, and luckily I was hungry. I hadn't eaten, so when you're starving, you can't sleep because you're like, I'm fucking starving. So I pushed through. At 4:30 a.m., I found a Waffle House and jerked the fucking steering wheel.
Nice.
off. Yeah, right.
Where were you?
And I have no clue.
North Carolina?
Oh yeah,
They're
North
all the
Carolina.
same.
I was
Yeah.
north of past their hotel where they were sleeping like slumber like
Yeah,
babies.
because from Jacksonville, North Carolina, and South Carolina are pretty long. You're not in Georgia long.
right. So and I was doing good. I'm on the diet. I'm eating right, and I was like, I'll go in here and get some eggs and some bacon. and
Yeah,
call it a day.
right. Scattered, smothered, and covered.
Covered, smothered, and chunked. So I left, and nothing about me at Waffle House. I eat fast. I
Yeah.
order that shit. They send it to me. I'm in and out in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah.
You know,
On this trip, or you sit
Always.
back and have a coffee?
I'm always that way. No,
Yeah.
I face the coffee and I roll. And then,
Well, you're trying to make time, too, so you're
yeah.
not.
So I'm like fucking stomach's full. I'm golden.
Uh-oh.
30
Oh.
minutes in, I'm like
Got hit by a truck.
rumble,
Yeah,
rumble
rumble
strips and shit. Yeah, no rumble strips. I'm like,
Oh, no.
I thought bubble guts for
yeah,
a second.
no. My stomach's good on that shit. It loves it.
Yeah.
The rumble strips on the side of the highway. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I pulled over in some gas station and
Did you sleep in the truck?
balled up in the truck for like 2 hours and
Oh,
got
wow.
back on the road. Yeah,
How uncomfortable was that?
miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's not like you reclined the seat or anything.
hell no. Yeah.
Oh no.
Did it have a bench seat or anything?
It had a bench seat, but there was stuff in the passenger seat.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they used every inch of that fucking
Yeah.
truck. So it was miserable, but
But it got you, it, like, took your battery back up and you could.
yeah, 2-3 hours, and at that point I was 2 hours from home, 2 hours and 20 minutes from home.
And
when I
that's where it
stopped.
kills you. That's
I
where
know,
you hate
I
to
was
stop.
Like, I'm so close.
Yeah.
I did not expect Ely to be. I was in Raleigh, North Carolina this weekend. I'm partying it up with my boys, and it's 1:30 in the morning, and I'm like,
Yeah, who and why? What was going on there?
I don't know. I came back from San Diego.
Yeah.
I spent like one night here, and then
Because the girls.
they were all gone. My whole family was gone this weekend.
But did you
so-
ride down with the girls to Charlotte? Because they were in Charlotte, right?
Yeah, no, I took the Miata. I was
Oh, I
going
didn't.
on a road
I didn't,
trip.
I didn't know if y'all like carpooled down that way.
But I ended up having to call Ely or text Ely like 1:30 in the morning. I had a question for him, and I'm thinking, I hope I'm not like bothering
Yeah.
this guy because I was hammered. So I was like, I'm annoying right now. No one wants to talk to me. So I
This
was
is
like,
Friday night when he's driving.
yeah, but I didn't know he
He
was.
didn't
Oh,
know.
okay.
So I'm like, let me shoot him a text. Shot him a text, and my phone just starts ringing immediately.
He's
And I'm
happy
like,
to talk to
"Hey."
somebody.
Yeah, he was. I was like, hello.
You want to read the dictionary to me right now?
That's right.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I'm on the phone like, all right, I need some advice. Because unbeknownst to me, I'm cruising down the road.
Oh, so you were driving.
Yeah, I drove the Miata
Okay,
down
so you
there.
weren't there at 1:30.
No, I was there. Like, I'd
Oh,
gotten there
okay.
at like 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So I'd been partying for a while. I drove down there, though, and it's about a 3-hour drive. And about 2.5 hours into this thing, I must have just shattered a belt the one that Ely and I had
Rechanged,
replaced.
yeah.
and,
Oh,
like,
damn.
Put on that new pulley system and everything. Because all of a sudden the car is like dog slow. And then I get to my first like stop and I try to turn the wheel and I'm like, hey, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I no longer have power steering. That's
Yeah.
for sure. So like this belt just completely shredded to shit. And so I was trying to figure out.
Did you hear it whipping around in the
I didn't hear
compartment?
anything. I don't understand how I didn't hear.
So it didn't break. It just shredded and came off.
There was one hair piece that was still in there. Like
Usually when it
circular.
shreds like that, you can hear it whipping and hitting
Oh yeah.
the hood.
Well, he
and
was
everything.
jamming the fireworks. so
Yeah,
hard.
he was.
Well, that's the thing. I was pumping music,
Yeah.
and the Miata's not a quiet vehicle.
True.
It's like
the exhaust
loud,
is
as
loud,
can
yeah.
be. Plus,
Probably top
everything's
down.
coming.
Yeah.
Top was up at that point.
Yeah, it's still loud.
So loud.
So as I get older, I can't drive as long as I used to be able to drive.
Oh, I'm with you,
And
man.
I found a new trick though that worked for me on this
Oh,
trip.
really?
Oh yeah. I started watching stand-up, listening to stand-up comedy specials.
You got like Sirius in there?
No. I put them on my phone on YouTube.
Nice.
But the thing about stand-up
Can
is
you
like
download them or something?
I just streamed it.
Oh, okay.
So podcasts, podcasts tend to not. They're great, but they're not going to keep you as awake because
put me to sleep.
A comedy special, they're trying to be hilarious.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
trying to make you laugh your ass off.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to I listened to 2 Bill Burr stand-ups. I listened to the Adam Carolla non-Taco Bell material.
How was that?
It was awesome.
Because I've read that book and I've been listening to him for 10 years, so I think I've heard all of the jokes. He
jokes,
probably
yeah.
hits on that.
But
probably
so I put the YouTube video on. I just put it up on the dash, and I'm playing it, and I'm fucking dying.
That's
I'm
awesome.
cracking up, and it's like keeping me
That's
awake.
brilliant.
It worked.
Yeah, that
it
makes-
worked wonderfully.
Because they have to get their energy up.
Yeah.
And they know where they're going, so there's not a lull.
Exactly.
You're never more than 30
Right.
seconds from a joke.
Most podcasts, they're not there to make you die laughing every instant like they are in stand-up.
Well, it's
specials.
hard,
Yeah.
and it's not tuned. I mean,
Well, we're riffing the whole time. Like
Yeah.
podcasts, you're making
yeah.
it up.
It's a
kinda.
conversation more
Yeah.
than it is.
Stand up is a one way
Bill
street.
Burr's
That shit
fucking
was
next
killing
level,
me,
dude.
Oh,
I can't
my
stand
God.
his podcast.
Really?
I love his stand up. I just don't like listening to him read the paper.
Is that what he does?
Essentially, he'll be like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
look at this.
Yeah.
I'm
He'll
like,
go
"You're
off like
killing me."
the Bruins are. It's like, yeah. His wife always walks in with the baby, and I'm like, you do it for 30 minutes, dude. You can't just iron out 30 minutes and not have an interruption. I mean, that's
Right.
kind of weird.
Probably doesn't see him very much.
Well, he's hitting hard right now, so he gets to make up his own schedule. So
That's true.
I'm sure
Oh,
he
yeah.
gets to see him more than.
But I'm sure he doesn't
certain
dick around.
people.
That dude's a hustler.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's out
for
there.
sure.
So
Well,
that was
and
an adventure.
he talks about it a lot. Being an older dad, he's freaking out. Like he's not even drinking this year. He's
Really?
taking the whole year off.
The whole
Wow.
year.
Yeah.
That dude is a hard drinker, too.
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
But he's trying to get in shape because he's like, I want to be around for my daughter. Because he was 50 when his daughter was born.
Right.
Like, that's
50. Okay. When I turn 50, then I will clean up.
Yeah.
Start doing it. Yeah.
20 more years. You'll be good to
20
go.
years. Thank you, Troy. You get it.
Nice.
No, that's a great idea. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah, it
Because
worked
I always
really
listen
well.
to podcasts, but yeah, certain podcasts are sleepers, man.
Yeah, for sure.
When I go to sleep every night listening to podcasts, so I think that it's kind of
Yeah, you've trained
tuned
yourself.
me in to be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, time to go to bed. So I do find myself driving when listening
Yeah.
to
I mean,
podcasts.
I'm
and start-
legitimately belly laughing,
Yeah.
slapping the steering wheel, dying. You know what I mean? It was awesome.
Yeah, you can't fall
Just
asleep after you
during
do that.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Nobody's laughing their ass off and narcoleptic and fall
Exactly.
the fuck over.
Yeah,
I'm sure your conversation with,
But by
with
my-
me was pretty awesome.
yeah. But by my fourth one though, I was like, all right, I am a little tired. This is still funny though, but I'm getting tired.
Especially with nobody to talk to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Did you hear
I've never had Ely call me back so fast ever.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, send, ring. What the fuck is
What are you
this?
sitting on your phone? Oh, you are sitting on your
Yeah.
phone.
Legitimately.
I was
Yeah.
like, man, he must be really excited to talk to me about
Dude, when
my
I was
Miata.
a kid, man, I used to relish in driving 12, 14
Me
hours.
too.
Like, it was fun. And I'm going to a bachelor party in 2.5, 3 weeks. These assholes were like, we got to go somewhere we can drive. I was like, fuck that. We got to go somewhere else. They want to go to Myrtle. We ended up, I squashed that shit. I was like, Myrtle's the fucking worst place in the world.
Oh, it's great
We're
for a
not
bachelor
going to
party.
Myrtle. We're going somewhere cooler.
Where'd you settle?
But you could have gone. You can go anywhere. Not anywhere. You can go to a ton of different places out of Richmond flying for less than $200.
Yeah.
like Tampa, Nashville,
Right.
fucking Boston.
Yeah.
Like there's a million cool cities. Not a million.
And
obviously.
you guys are going right around St. Patrick's Day. You
Yeah.
certainly should have parlayed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a couple of these assholes were like, we got to drive. We got to drive. So we ended up. Me and another guy talked them into Charleston because they were comfortable
cool.
driving.
That'll do.
But that's a long ass drive too.
Are you flying?
So yeah, I was like, fuck you nerds. I found a flight for like $275.
Nice.
And I'm like, I will gladly pay that shit because, as I've learned, the drive down's awesome. The drive back is just straight trash. I mean, when you're hungover after 4 days, you don't want to be sitting in the car. And you Google that shit. That's a 7-hour drive. That's what Google tells you. You know damn well you're going to take longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you stop, get gas, stop, eat lunch, and first off, get everybody up and moving on the last day is going to be hard
I feel
enough.
like it is 7 to Charleston from here. Like, even with all the bullshit, it's 7.
I don't know about that. We went to Folly and it took us 8 hours to get home. You would remember.
I don't know anything about that. I was there.
Yeah, you rode with me, but you don't remember much of the ride back.
I'm sure I was having a good time.
You were having a great time.
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
I wanted to pull the fucking car into the
That's
fucking
hilarious.
oncoming traffic.
Whatever, dude. You just don't like jokes. See, Healy would have loved it. I was
Yeah.
doing stand-up the whole way home. Kind of.
Dude, that last one we went, the Ocean City one, I thought we were both going to fucking die on the way home. And that was only 5 hours.
That's because the Forerunner, though, leaves a little something to be desired on
For
road
sure.
trips. That thing isn't built for comfort or speed.
Yeah.
It literally does none of the things you want in a road tripping
Yeah.
car.
4-day bender, riding home with no top, sun beating down on you, just cooking you.
Right.
Skills.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So I'm so happy to get a flight. I was like, I'll gladly pay that money to whip down there and whip back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're making the right choice,
Yeah.
especially going into Charleston.
Yeah.
Like, that's easy money. I'm actually thinking about going to Charleston for the High Water Festival in like April, about a month from now.
That's a music festival, I
Yeah.
assume?
Leon Bridges, Shovel and Rope, Lord Huron,
Oh no.
Are
any of these
you-
people's-
Iron and Wine.
Looking at the whole Woodstock thing,
I mean, who's playing it? I don't.
everyone.
When is it?
August.
Yeah, I'm looking at it then. I'm interested.
Okay.
Wasn't the last one a shit show though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
this one's a-
Limp Bizkit and everybody.
No,
Fucking,
like there were bad bands there, right?
no, the last one was in like '95, and it was insane.
Limp Bizkit's awesome.
Yeah,
Nor-
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying like the logistics of it was a nightmare, right?
Let me pull up the list really
Well,
quick.
yeah, unfortunately, it rained the whole
Yeah,
time.
that's what it was.
And they somehow lit the thing on fire in the rain.
In the rain.
It was a fairly impressive.
There's all the like price gouging and shit, but of course that's going to go on everywhere. I would assume, right? Every concert, $4 waters.
All right,
and-
let's see.
I mean, you do get gouged just about everywhere you go. Nowadays, the hip thing is to give out the water free.
Yeah,
They've at
so
least
people
come
don't
around on
die?
that. Yeah, they've come around on that. You still got to pay for everything else that'll kill you,
yeah.
but you get that for
so
free.
here we go. So far,
I mean, who are the headliners? What do I got going on here?
Jay-Z,
Sold.
the
Cool.
Lumineers, the Killers, the
Sold.
Black Keys,
Sold.
Sturgill Simpson, Santana,
Ugh.
Yeah.
Robert Plant, Pussy Riot, Portugal the Man, Miley Cyrus,
Pussy Riot got
Imagine
famous because
Dragon,
of that. They're
Halsey,
okay. This lineup
Chance the
doesn't
Rapper,
suck.
Cage the
Miley.
Elephant.
Yeah, you had me.
Party in the USA.
Yeah,
No, that lineup's actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
yeah.
And already it's eclectic.
And they're
I had
supposed to be-
country in there. I had
And
rap.
I've
I
heard
had
that they're
rock.
trying to get a bunch of others. Like there's some other big ones that haven't
I
signed
bet
yet.
that costs a fortune.
Got
They
to,
all
right?
do. But
I mean, yeah, because the local ones that I want to go to cost a few $100s
well, that high water one's like $140
for 2
Really?
days.
Yeah, for 2 days. That's nothing. I mean, for what you're getting.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we'll see if I go. The wife and I are just kind of. It just occurred to us. It's not bands that we like love. It's just bands that we're like we would enjoy that. We should go.
Well, y'all missed last year, so y'all probably jonesing to get back out there.
Yeah, the Lollapalooza lineup comes out in 2 weeks. I'm waiting to see what that is. But right now, the best lineup.
What about
I've seen,
Firefly?
Bonnaroo. It's a trash lineup.
It is.
Yeah, the only good thing's Post Malone,
Yeah.
which I'm now all in on.
Yeah, he's the
Nice.
best.
I've completely converted ever since our ski trip this year. I'm like, that was wrong. He still looks like an asshole.
Oh, his look
But-
is fucking crazy.
The look is, I think,
So
half
bad.
his, like, not talent. He is talented. He can sing and play instruments, but, like, I feel like that look is what propelled him.
It might be. I saw a guy the other day.
No, because when he started, he didn't. That shit's grown. Like when he started, he had a couple, and he was already on his trajectory.
You
Now
think?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at pictures of him,
I feel like I've never seen him without all the stupid tattoos.
no, they're growing. Those pictures.
well,
are growing.
obviously, it's not going to stop.
Yeah, but
you don't get a face tattoo in cult. Well, Mike Tyson does, but
yeah.
Most people don't get face tattoos.
But the thing
in
about
it.
his is that they're random. It's like
Yeah.
there's no one pattern. It's like I want a lightning bolt here,
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse here, just a straight line with 2 dots above it here.
Yeah.
You're like,
Some
what?
barbed wire here.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the pictures where they like Photoshop out all the tattoos to show you what Post Malone would look like?
Oh my God.
He's like not a bad looking guy where I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like this son of a bitch.
Are you pulling it up now?
Yeah, I got one here. I mean, unfortunately, he looks pretty ridiculous still. He's like,
Well, his hair and his.
but I mean, he's not like,
yeah.
he'd be like a normal looking dude.
If he could grow a real beard.
Well, yeah,
Not
they
that pube
they
beard.
didn't Photoshop that away, unfortunately.
You're a Post Malone guy now, huh?
I mean, I always was.
Yeah.
Was always Yeti and always
Well,
Post
I
Malone.
think it helped explain your croc addiction.
My crack addiction?
Your
oh,
croc.
croc. Either
Yeah,
way, that
exactly.
comment worked.
Either way,
So I was
yeah.
like, did he say croc or crack?
I'm in for both.
I'm in for both. It's kind of what I do. It's kind of what I
Cracking
do.
crocs.
Yeah.
Yes, for every 10 rocks of crack you buy, I'll give you a pair of
Yeah.
Crocs. Sales.
Capitalism.
It works. I'm not even mad. Dude, should we go to the deli a little early this week,
Yeah,
or do you
I'm
want
cool with
to?
Because I could use a beer.
I got us something a little different today.
Oh, yeah?
St. Patrick's Day is around the corner.
Right
In
around
fact-
the way?
In fact, this will be coming out right before St. Patrick's Day. So, I was looking at some options there. Now, we all have had Guinness. We've all had Harp. Most of us have had Smittix and all the kind of, all the traditional Irish beers. Well, Guinness is now making the Guinness Blonde.
I
know
don't
if-
really need much of this if you don't want to.
All right, I'll drink the rest of yours then.
So, Guinness Blonde, they're brewing in Baltimore, of all freaking places.
Ugh.
Really?
To go from one third world country to another.
We want the good water.
I guess so. Yeah. It's so much better once you get all the hepatitis out.
Where did they film The Wire? Let's make our beer there.
Yeah.
It sounds
Heard
like
good
the
things.
place.
Seems like a nice place.
But yeah, so I wanted to try the Guinness Blonde. Oh, that's not what I expected.
So you've
At
never
all.
had this? This
I
has
had
been
it-
around, right? I feel like I might have had this
I
years
had it
ago.
a long time ago, and I honestly thought it was like a. I didn't think it was that. Maybe I haven't had it.
Is it supposed to taste like Guinness?
No.
No. Okay.
No, it's an American lager that Guinness is making. But I
It's
thought
very clear.
let's give the people something else. See if maybe there's another beer they could be drinking on St. Patrick's
Do you
Day.
taste any banana in there?
I might have that first sip, like a clovey banana thing.
Something. It tastes like an Hefeweizen IPA. If that makes any sense.
Tastes like weed.
That's what IPAs taste like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this
That's not what I would have thought. When
That
I
is
heard
not what I was
Guinness
expecting.
And blonde.
that is not what I was expecting at all.
No.
A crisp golden beer. Citrusy with a refreshing finish. I don't know about that.
I don't know about any of that shit.
We refined our original blonde recipe for brewing at our new Open Gate Brewery and Barrel House in Baltimore, Maryland, the first stateside Guinness brewery since the mid-1950s. So you tried some shit over here and it didn't work?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's run that one back. I think we know how it ends.
That's the Irish way. If it didn't work, make more booze. Like just do more.
Yeah.
That's a weird one. I did not expect that much hop.
I mean, you and I both love Guinness and put it up there. And
I mean, Guinness is my. I'm a P1.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would put ahead of Guinness. So the way I look at it is, you make Guinness. Like, you don't need to venture out into the silly shit that the other breweries do.
They do though, because all the millennials and the younger crowd, they like craft beer.
So you don't think Guinness has a rep and will make it through the millennial stage? Because I can't
It's-
imagine.
It's doing all right, but I mean, all sales are down out of the craft beer universe. Guinness certainly isn't a craft beer. I mean, there's no more macro brewery than Guinness. Isn't it like the number one consumed beer in the world?
I can't imagine that. Is it? You think?
I don't know. I'm just talking into a mic. I can say whatever I want.
I can't imagine. Maybe it is. I don't know. That's a good question. What would be? We should have researched that. But what would be the the amount of Budweiser and stuff that gets consumed here, I can't imagine Guinness can keep up production compared to that.
The 10 best. Number 10, Coors Light. Strong.
Yeah.
Number 9, Brahma. Okay.
No idea.
Nope. 8, Harbin. Dude, we need to go down this list.
Yeah.
Like, we need to try all these. 7, good old Heineken. Can't go wrong with that. 6, Yanjing. Never seen or
So
heard
some
of.
of these must be like Indian beers or Asian beers where like
Gots to
their
be.
numbers are so like
5, Skull. I've seen that. I've had a lot of Skulls in my life. 4, Beechwood Aged.
Yeah.
yeah.
Finest of all the lagers ever made. 3, Bud Light.
I assume the American lagers would be
2, Sing Tao. Global beer share 2.8. Number 1, Snow.
never even heard of that.
I've never heard of the most popular
It looks
beer
like Mountain Dew.
in the world.
It does. It's in a green and blue.
And for the record, Guinness, not even in the top 10.
No.
I was way off.
It's 11.
Yeah.
I was way off. Okay. Shows what I know. I didn't even see Miller Lite on that list. We
No.
got Bud Light and Coors Light on that list, but no Miller Lite.
There was 3 light beers. There was a Bud Light, Coors Light, and something else.
The
But-
other one was full flavor Bud Light.
Right next to Bud was something else American.
I don't recall.
Where was Coors Light?
10.
10. But that's interesting. Well, Guinness Blonde wasn't on the list, I see.
No.
Shocker.
Which that should not be the case. Troy, have you formulated an opinion yet?
This is another one of those cute 11.2 ounce bottles.
Oh, yeah.
Duh
Get you.
fuck. Is it really?
Yep, get you every time.
That really bugs me for some
It does,
reason.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it should.
It's like the olive jar where they take one olive out of each jar and
It's like a bag of
Save
chips. You open it,
millions,
it's
yeah.
a quarter of the way down. You're like, really? That seems fair.
they're like, it looks just like a 12-ounce bottle.
What do you think of that beer?
It's not a bad beer. It's not. I would not say it's a blonde. It has Guinness on it. I wouldn't say it's a Guinness. If I just blind taste tested this, I'll finish it. I'll give it a 3. It's not bad. I don't want to spit it out.
They're not claiming that it's an IPA.
No, they said it was
Crisp golden beer.
they said it was a lager and it had a. They did say that it had like it was rounded out with hops,
It says it's citrusy, which I'm not picking up on.
which
any
would be the
citrus.
hops for sure. I think that beer is very interesting because the first sip I had, I actually 100% agreed with your initial assessment. You took a Hefeweizen, like a light Hefeweizen.
Yeah.
You threw some hops in it.
Yes.
Thinned the whole thing out to make it more lagery.
That's what it reminds me of Hefeweizen. I can't remember which one, but it reminds me of a popular Hefeweizen
It's
on
like
the
a-
front end.
It's like a Pyramid Hefeweizen or a Widmer Brothers,
Yeah.
kind of that American style Hefeweizen. A little bit of hop, and then clearly thinned out to become like light to the look.
yeah.
And I'm probably partial because I'm a Guinness homer, so it's probably hard for me to remove that. But the more I drink of it, the less I pick up on the hops, the less I pick up on the Hefeweizen side of it, and the more it starts to come through is more like just a traditional lager.
Lager. Yeah.
Yeah, like a better Budweiser, if you will.
I see
And
that. The more you drink of it, the
It
less.
starts to you lose
yeah.
all those flavors and
Yeah.
it just becomes a lager. But I like the little bit of hop in it. I think that's a good go-to if you don't want a Guinness. If you're more of a hoppy or Bud Light drinker, then I think this would be a good option for St. Patrick's Day. For me,
Yeah.
that's a 3.5.
So 3 and 3.5.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I'm kind of in the same ballpark. I was thinking 3 before you said that. I like it.
Oh wow!
It's not
I
heavily.
didn't think
it's
that was
not
gonna be
heavily
the-
hoppy, which is
Yeah,
why I like it.
But it's
Yeah.
got some hop. Like, you know it's
Yeah.
there,
right, you know it's there,
which I can respect.
Right.
But it's not trying to be an IPA at all.
No,
by
which
how
is why I
thin
like
it
it.
is. You know, like how clear it is.
And then again,
Which is the way beer should have been made anyway. I
Right.
swear to God,
That's the truth.
a bad batch happened with this IPA.
Yeah.
And some fucking genius salesperson was like, "Check this IPA I made up. It's delicious. It's
use lots of words
it's
about
yeah.
what they
It's
use to make it
and it's not $4 a pint. It's $8 a pint.
for a reason.
Oh, Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that must be delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it started.
and
It
it's-
started out good.
By the way, we only have 2 barrels of it, so you better get it now.
It's kind of like
Because
gonorrhea. It was great at first. You're like, hey, I was having a ton of fun, and you're
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, there's a little too much going on here.
so he only gives it. You said a 3, 3.5.
Yeah, I'll
He's-
go with a
he's-
3.
So that's gonna be
That's a deli.
ever
Yeah.
so light deli. We'll take it. I would say that if you're not a Guinness drinker and you want to partake in a Guinness,
Yeah,
air
this
quotes,
is a good
this is a good way to get around and get into your lager with an ever so slight hop.
for
hit.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
you're official. Because
If you're like a brand homer and you want to drink a Guinness,
Yeah, like I'm saying, if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
out on St. Patrick's Day and everyone's like ordering Guinness, be like, I'll have the blonde.
right?
You're gonna at least get something you can tolerate and say, oh, it's a Guinness.
By the way, if you're
Brewed in
one-
Baltimore.
if you're one of the assholes that say you hate Guinness because it's so thick and dark and heavy,
You're a dumbass.
you're an idiot, and that's not correct. It's made with nitrogen, which is lighter than CO2, and
That's
therefore
why it sits on top of every beer.
Yes.
Every half and half, the Guinness is on the top.
you don't have to chew it to drink it, and it's no heavier in your stomach than any other beer. You're
Lighter
drinking.
calories, lower
Yeah.
carbs than a standard Budweiser or
Yeah.
something. No, people are crazy, and it's lower alcohol.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, I can't drink those all night." You're like, really? Because it's the one you could.
Yeah.
I love Guinness.
That's one of those like wives' tales that everybody heard and knew it was fact, but no one
Oh,
like where did
there's-
it come from?
100% of the population knows Richard Gere's put gerbils in his ass.
Exactly.
The only guy who's unaware of that is Richard fucking Gere because he never put a gerbil in his ass.
Yeah.
But everybody knows it. It's
Yep.
like, nope, that's a fact. Everyone's
Yep.
like, oh, Guinness, you got to chew it. I don't like
That
coffee.
is crazy
Yeah.
that he got that.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I know somebody he fucked
And
fucked
this-
with the wrong person.
before the internet?
Yeah,
Like that wouldn't put out like
That's when
post-96.
rumors, though, would
Yeah.
never stop.
yeah.
I think I was listening to a podcast the other day that they were saying like the Procter and Gamble logo was Satanistic. The logo was originally made because like back in the 1800s, some dumbass on the dock drew a star on the side of it, and then someone went, "Ooh, cool!" Put a circle around it, and they were like, "That's actually kind of a cool logo." So they started putting a star with a circle. Then they added a moon. Then they added like a little bit of a beard on the moon. And
A
then
ram's head.
and then all of a sudden it's like they decided that the
devil horns.
the curliness of the beard was 666 and there were sixes everywhere, a pentagram in the center. And so I guess like in the early 80s, like a rumor started going around that the owner of Procter and Gamble went on the Phil Donahue show
Yeah.
and actually renounced everybody and said, "Yes, we're a Satanistic company. This is what we do. This is our label. Fuck you."
As a goof?
He didn't do it.
Oh.
Some story started in the middle of like, Central America, like
Yeah.
no one, as in the Midwest,
Yeah, yeah.
the dirty
Right.
part of America.
Costa Rica?
Yes, exactly. What am
Yeah.
I doing? And
Exactly.
so apparently what happened is door-to-door salesmen were still like a big deal back
Yeah.
in the day. Well, they would go around and they would also drop off pamphlets and be like, "You shouldn't be buying that Procter and Gamble stuff. They're Satanists." So they like ran with it.
undercutting.
So it completely like spread like wildfire. And there's been 3 separate occasions in the history of Procter and Gamble where this rumor has popped up in a region, has spread like wildfire, decimated their sales.
Yeah.
And then they have to like build their brand back up where they've had this
That's
happen.
brutal.
All around like Ivory soap.
Have
There's
you
nothing more angelic than Ivory soap.
Speaking of, have you ever seen the crazy lady go off on you can YouTube it, go off on Monster energy drink about
Yes.
the
Dude,
3
That's a really good
Yeah.
argument, though. I see that and think that is some Satanistic shit.
Yeah.
If you want some entertainment, look that up. That lady is
She's
off her rocker for that shit.
Yeah, for
Or
sure.
spot on.
Speaking of, we haven't discussed the Rogan Alex Jones podcast yet.
I haven't heard it yet.
Oh my god.
Is it amazing?
yes,
Oh, God.
it may be the best one ever.
It's brutal, dude.
Seriously?
Yes,
It is
for sheer
brutal.
entertainment value.
Yeah,
It's
I'm in.
awesome.
So are they going at each other in this, or is it? Because
No.
Joe Rogan used to be a big fan.
They're
like,
buddies. They're
He didn't agree with Alex Jones, but he was like, "I like this guy. I like kind of his jib."
They've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
But they had a falling out not long
Yeah,
ago.
they did. And they talked about that at
Yeah.
the beginning. Let me preface it this way. You have to understand that Alex Jones is a total goon and find him humorous to find the podcast funny.
Yeah.
If you really think that he's like believing what he says and things like that, then you're going to get frustrated because it's very easy to get frustrated.
As I listened to it, I'm on the fence as to does he believe this or is he just trying to stoke, because he was coming off hot and aggressive, like he believed a lot of stuff, and a lot of it was like, when I was 8 years old, my dad would tell me to, and like,
you do a good Alex Jones.
I mean, it was crazy. Like, listen, it was painful.
Insane.
It was a long 4.5 hours.
It was very painful because, like, the way his mind works is so frustrating.
Dude, he would be like,
yeah, listen here now.
He would be like, and he would stop talking. He'd be like, I forgot what I was getting ready to say. Like, literally not like sidetracked, but like no one butt in. Like, he just would pause and be like, I don't know. What were we talking about? And you're like,
yeah, because they're getting loaded. See, I was saying the opposite.
Oh, you think were they loaded?
Yeah, I think they were getting loaded. They was like, he got any of that more of that tobacco? Like, because he couldn't say that because I guess it would happen to Elon Musk.
Yeah, because he's so fucking paranoid. He's obviously smoking.
But then when he would talk, he would just jump all over the place.
That's what I was saying was that he would be like, Joe would be like, well, wait, we need to talk about the Sandy Hook. He's like, all right, fine. Well, we'll talk about the three-legged aliens later. Like, what the fuck? You can't just say that and skip over it. He's like, yeah, they're eating their bodies and shit. And you're like, what? You can't just skip over that. And Joe's like, yeah, okay, yeah, but what about this? You're like, it's like Joe knows that he's talking batshit crazy shit.
Yeah.
But he's just feeding
it.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Alex is all like, we know for a fact there's human-pig hybrids.
Yeah.
And he's like moving on, and Joe's like, hold on. There's what?
Right.
Oh, there's human-pig hybrids.
And then Eddie Bravo shows up halfway
God.
through. And him and Eddie Bravo start getting into it.
Bravo's trolling the shit out of him.
Yes. But Bravo doesn't believe in any space. So
the worst part is, though, that some of Alex Jones's crazy rants have come to
For
fruition.
sure. Yeah. And they talk
and
about
you're
that
like,
too.
oh,
Yeah.
son of a bitch. Really?
Yeah.
Like, maybe this guy's not totally psycho
Oh,
because he
he
gets a
is.
couple right.
Yeah, no.
Which I guess if you put the vibe out there, that's the old thing. If you hit on 100
Granddad
women,
told me when I was 8. You're like, no, he didn't, motherfucker.
Yeah, and like you would remember
And you
it.
remembered it, right? Yeah. He said this.
Verbatim.
Yeah, exactly. And like the story that he's telling about when he was 8, like was verbatim, and his granddad was like, I have this document signed by the secret general. And you're like, what?
But then he would get sidetracked
Yeah,
or forget what he was
exactly.
talking about.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
but I'm supposed to take what
He
you heard.
told me about that before he told me about
40
the
years
Toad
ago.
Busters. And you're like,
Yeah.
what is the fucking Toad
Busters?
Yeah. Or whatever. He just says the craziest shit. Out of
Okay.
the blue. And I used to get angry at him. Like, this dude is a fucking nut
you
job.
guys got to take him with a grain of salt.
Now that I look at him as entertainment, it has changed my world.
He is very entertaining.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue with him
Where
from that
do we,
level.
where do we stand? Because we're all free speech guys. Like, people believe all the crazy shit guys like him say. Like, we can't censor him, right? Or do we want to censor him? I mean, it's weird.
Oh, so speaking of that, have you heard the new Jack Dorsey?
Dude, I messaged
podcast?
y'all about that.
You did?
Dude, that dude, the Tim guy on that one,
Yes.
shredded those two.
Yeah.
Like, he tore them apart.
Is that the Twitter one?
Yes.
Yeah, well, Jack came back on.
Yeah, the new one.
But now he came back on with his CTO or whoever she is. She's
Right-hand
like
girl.
She was actually
She was really good.
She's
She
difficult to flap. Like,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
like they would come at her and like she'd be like, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, well, that diffused
They-
that.
they-
and
Right.
then she'd be like, and we learn.
They
Yeah,
did
yeah.
it.
Like,
They
okay.
did admit to a lot of wrongdoing.
Yeah, I mean, Joe made a great point about that. It's like the fact that they're there talking about it
Yeah.
speaks volumes.
Good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well, and
actually,
Joe made the point too, where he's like, "This is something that's never been tackled." Like, so you have to understand that they're doing the best they can.
Yeah, but even by the end of the show, the dude was like, the other guy was like, I don't believe you.
Yeah,
He's like, it's cool to hear you say you're going to do these things, but I don't believe that you're going to do those
yeah.
things.
He's like, "You're."
I came off with a
left-winger."
better
Yeah.
impression from that one.
Yeah,
than the
Yeah.
They got into more of the details.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I also, like, part of me also found it a little bit, like, that guy, what was his name?
Tim something.
Tim was getting into the weeds. You're getting into the weeds about this one tweet with the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I found annoying. Like,
yes.
there's no
Yeah,
way
he's
of
like,
the
"Well,
million.
what about Steve Bogglebog?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, who the fuck is that,
like,
dude?
I can't
Yeah.
I'm the
possibly.
CEO of this company. Why are you asking? Who are you for me to be sitting here answering your questions like you're the goddamn Supreme Court?
Yeah,
How about
yeah.
fuck yourself?
Yeah.
And how
You know
do
what I
I
mean?
police every single
Right.
thing? And this is the top of the food chain. Like, He's not the guy scrolling
Yeah,
through tweets.
At one point, they were like, "How many tweets are there a day?" And she read off a silly number, and like the whole of Twitter has 4,000 employees. And
Then good luck.
And Joe's like, "How many are regulating the tweets?" And he's like,
They wouldn't
3,000, and he wouldn't say, but
They
it's
would
like
refuse to say
it's
it.
probably hundreds.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a million. What was the number?
I
It
don't
was,
remember.
It was like, I mean, it was
Hundreds of millions.
hundreds of millions a day.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, you can't.
200 people are going to
possibly.
police that. Like, good luck with that shit.
Yeah, I almost feel bad for him.
Yeah.
because it's an insurmountable hurdle.
Have we
But
talked?
I still do stand by my fact that I say that they're megalomaniacs.
Yeah,
that
he's
feel
got a
like
god complex.
They
That's
need,
fine.
They
I
need
agree.
to form the world.
But it's
Yeah,
hard
they
to
have
it's
that for
it's
sure.
difficult to shit on the guy because this tweet slipped through the Twitter sphere.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Right, but his point is that there's a pattern, and
Well,
And
the
there
Tim
is,
guy
yeah.
had
Yeah.
the Tim guy. He had a good example. He was like, of the 30 people you've kicked off, 29 of them were right wing conservative guys.
Yeah.
Like, so there is a trend there. Like, you can't.
yeah, but is that more of like the outrage is so loud about the right wing guys that it like becomes
I
more
think-
obvious?
well, they talked about that too. About
Yeah.
like they go off because obviously they can't police all the tweets. They have algorithms that catch certain things, but a lot of it is we have to listen to customers complain about it. So of course the right wing people, the social justice warrior lefties are gonna squawk about the right wing people. Well,
Yeah.
the right wing people, a lot of them don't squawk back at the lefty people. So a lot of it's just kind of
it was more of like he was saying, and it's a very good point, that just the sheer nature that most of the people that work at Twitter, because they're around left-wing
They're
views all the
techie
time,
people, yeah.
they tend to
well, you might start to
and
shift.
it may not be a fault of their own.
Yes.
It's just they're tending to be outraged by things that are in that direction just by the sheer nature of the industry that they're in.
I don't argue with that.
Yeah,
though. I mean that makes sense.
I don't
He
think
made up
they-
a great point. The fact that he was like, you have a policy about, naming someone by gender, and people, they're half of the country disagrees with
yeah.
that. So you do have a policy that leans this way.
Yeah.
And it's true.
But that's by default. I mean, like
Yeah,
I
but everybody
only
has
listened
that,
to about
right?
half of that episode before I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
because they were just
Yeah.
going in circles.
They were. Absolutely.
The
I
last
quit.
half hour, 45 minutes was just straight.
Yeah.
Let's
what about this?
Let's
What
run
about
another
that?
lap on this
Exactly.
one.
Yeah. What about this one tweet?
Yeah.
Oh, of the 100 million that came out today.
Yeah.
And that one was 3 months ago. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Right.
I was impressed with what they admitted to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't come away thinking they were as bad as the last time.
No.
That's all.
And then it's like they were kind of hinting at, like, but do you want government getting in and regulating that?
Yeah.
'Cause is that better? I mean, we all know how the government.
Tim Pool, that's his name.
Yeah, we all know how they regulate shit. Like, it's not always better.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Alex Jones and Eddie Bravo.
Yeah.
Have we ever talked about the space hoax thing? Like, where do we stand on that? Where do you guys stand on that?
The fact that
Oh,
we
you're
didn't
talking
land
about-
on the moon.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like he believes that, but he also believes like there's no outer space.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's a flat Earth guy, so he's like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
none of that exists.
Oh, wow.
That's the
Yeah, yeah.
worst.
right.
That's the
Well,
worst.
that's two different topics. I
Well,
was
that's-
talking about did we land on the moon?
Yeah, no, I know, but I think
My belief is we definitely landed on the moon. I mean, I stand on that side. But I think that is a very easy one to believe. In that time and space, we needed to prove that we were better and that, the Cold War was raging. To think that we're not capable of faking that is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost as crazy as the theory itself. Because we're certainly capable of doing that
Yeah.
to thumb our nose and go, gotcha.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there was literally the space race. It was a huge deal at the time. And yeah, I mean, a lot of these conspiracy theories, I'm like, but what is the end game, right? There was
an
an
end
end game for
a
that
solid
one.
end
Yeah.
game.
And
Like,
I'm with
let's
you. I
fake this and show
believe
we're
we
better.
landed on the moon, but if you could prove it otherwise, I would not.
I wouldn't be
That's not
totally
the hill I
shocked.
would die on.
Of
trying
all
to-
the conspiracy
yeah.
theories out
Yeah.
there, absolutely. It's the one that's I see the reasoning why you would do it, and I see how easy it would be to do.
Well, it's like the chemtrails one. It's like,
What's the point?
yeah, like what's the end game for those who don't know? Planes fly over, you see the white lines from the wings cutting through the atmosphere. People say it's the government dropping chemicals. What's the end game?
You tell me.
Their argument is to keep people sick. Are you sick all the time? I'm confused. Like,
They better get some more planes up there.
exactly, yeah.
I feel pretty good.
Yeah, but that one there was at that time there was a huge, there was an end game for that because whoever got there first was the most powerful nation in the world.
Yep.
That's right, and that's why you fake it.
I
I'm
didn't
not
know
saying
he-
they did, but
I didn't know he was a flat earther too.
Oh yeah, hardcore.
There's not a theory that he
Like
doesn't
there's
get
things that
behind.
Alex Jones is like. Alex Jones is like on Rogan's side on a lot of the stuff with Eddie Bravo. They're like joning on him for thinking on half of
Yeah.
the shit. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well, what do we think of the flat Earth?
What does who think?
What do we think?
What do you mean?
Well, it's flat.
Do we
Yeah.
agree or disagree?
But do you know? All right, so there's one thing about the flat Earth. Like I haven't watched any of the videos, or I did, but I turned it off. Where do they say that the sun goes?
It just goes below the Earth.
The flat Earth motherfuckers. Where do they say that the sun goes?
Yeah, it circles around the Earth.
No,
I'm guessing.
no.
The flat.
It's like a fucking snow globe.
yeah.
That's the flat Earth theory.
So it's not going over and under.
No, there's no under.
Then
A shade.
They say that it's a
then
fucking
they need to
pizza,
change their. They
and
need
it goes
to change,
around in a circle.
It looks like a globe cut in half, is what they say.
Yes,
with ice
exactly.
around the edge,
An
the
ice
crust.
wall, yeah,
yeah.
like Game of Thrones.
Because I saw a thing about it the other day where, like, they said they said North Pole is at the center of the flat Earth, and then all the countries are around it, and then Antarctica, the South Pole, would
Is
be
the
the
crust.
perimeter, the crust,
Okay.
and
Actually, I'm in. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
I can't believe they didn't think to have the sun go over and under.
I'm sure there's something.
yeah, there's got to be something.
I mean, that would be a very blatant loophole. Like,
But no, they think it spins in the middle.
What if a shade comes up over the globe, half the globe?
That could be it.
genius.
And like
Truman
Bravo
Show.
doesn't believe in any of that. Like he's like outer space is fake. All that shit's fake.
How do you say that?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even need that great of a telescope to see all the planets and shit. Like,
right. Like I think he might even think that the moon's fake. I got
Well, that would explain the fake moon landing.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think if he thinks outer space is fake, why wouldn't the moon be
right.
fake? I mean,
Yeah.
Actually, that adds up.
yeah.
Which I think what he believes.
I think I'm in. It's ridiculous.
It's an interesting podcast.
Hey,
I really don't know how you can't think there isn't unlimited out there. That's where I would go. Like, to me, the universe is infinite,
Right.
right? I mean, you
Yeah.
really think we're on some little pie plate and that's it? That's the
Yeah.
end?
Right.
Weird.
It's odd for sure.
have you guys not switching topics a little bit? But have you guys noticed how many times we've gotten the Lucky Charms beer emailed to us?
Quite a lot, actually.
I see people talking about it online on social media all the time.
We have gotten more people reaching out on Facebook, more emails about it.
Alexa
More like-
said she was going to get it. I don't know if she ever did
Where
or
is it?
not.
Well, so that's what I'm trying to. So it's out of some brewery called Smart Mouth Brewery that's down near Virginia Beach.
Smart Mouth is here, yeah.
Oh, it's
'Cause
here.
Well, no, I mean it's in the area because I've seen them at
Yeah.
at the when I've gone to the distributor taste testing. I've seen Smart Mouth.
Everybody keeps emailing.
Strange
us
Ways
about
had it. Alexa said.
So there was for a little while there was a brewery called Aslan up in Northern Virginia. That
Tell
was
everybody what
doing
it is. It's
the Lucky Charms.
it's Lucky Charms
It's the
marshmallow.
Lucky Charms IPA, and it's supposed
Yeah.
to taste like Lucky Charms, like the marshmallows
With
and
a
the
ton
whole
of
nine.
fucking IPA in it, I bet.
I'm sure. But there was one that was being made by Aslan up in Northern Virginia that was, it may not have been Lucky Charms, but it was a cereal like right in that ballpark.
Uh-huh.
So this has already been done. How Smart Mouth keeps blowing up because of this one, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like we got to try this now because everybody has reached out
I don't
to
know
us.
if we can get our hands on it because last I saw an article about where people are selling on eBay for like $450.
Really?
What?
Yeah, like it's that hot. Which sounds stupid, but we've known.
So if I drive down to Smart Mouth, they're not going to have it.
I don't know.
Well, then we need to reach out to Smart Mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
We need to get them to send us a beer for a deli.
Smart Mouth sounds like a freaking mouthwash.
That makes you smart.
Yeah, or a Google product.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like
Yeah.
a beer.
It's full of nootropics.
Yeah.
Mouthwash. Sounds good. I just feel like we got to get our hands on this thing
We do.
because the
Anybody out there got any?
that's what I'm kind of putting it out there to the crowd. If you've gotten your hands on some Smart Mouth, this damn Lucky Charms IPA,
It's in Virginia Beach. I'll be down there tomorrow. I'll
Or
look
even if
for
you
it.
have one for yourself.
really.
Even if you have one for yourself and you want to drink it, come on by here so we can sample it. And
Yeah, like I want to
Yeah, you can be on the podcast.
get
Yeah.
my
Deli with
my
us.
dumb mouth on that Smart Mouth.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, the price of entry would be a 6-pack of Smart Mouth. We'd
Yeah.
be glad to drink it because I keep
or a big crowler or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
just the sheer volume of emails. We've never had a topic that has brought this many people out of
Yeah.
the woodwork. So I'm like, I gotta know. I have a feeling it'll just be like they probably just lactose it up to give it that milk
Yeah.
flavor.
It's got to be sugar rich if it tastes like marshmallows.
Yeah, it's like vanilla, lactose. I'm guessing. And then I don't know how you do a marshmallow flavor. Just add.
I'll be shocked
styrofoam.
if it's good.
I would be too.
Yeah.
And it'd be a real difficult thing to get you to like an IPA. So
Yeah, for sure.
people still want to get you to love IPAs.
Won't happen.
I was
'cause they
hanging
taste
out
like
with
shit.
I was hanging out with young Jimmy this weekend, and
Yeah.
he was talking about the beer that he had shipped over and how excited he was that it won a deli. But he goes, but it wasn't a real deli. And I was like, that's how I know a listener right there.
Yeah.
A casual listener thinks a deli is just whatever beer hits. A hardcore listener's like, yeah, but it wasn't an IPA. And the true deli is when you win an IPA.
Very
Have we
true.
had one of those?
Kindred Spirits won one with Headspace.
Really?
Yeah, you gave it a deli, which
Wow.
blew my mind.
That's crazy. Why would I do such a thing?
Maybe you were drunk.
Could be.
I don't know.
Is the
Not
beer
likely.
trending away from that yet? I feel like the IPAs have been quite heavy for the past few years. I feel like we've got to start.
I mean, the sours are starting
I
to
was
show
gonna
up
say
more and more.
Gozes or sours are.
They're showing up everywhere.
But that's
now.
a
People
look.
want
I
'em.
know I love them, but I know that's weird. So I don't expect everybody to love them. Where the
Right.
IPAs, I feel like they're awful, but everybody loves them. So I don't. There's
Yeah.
kind of no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah. So you guys are still doing the low carb keto thing?
Trying.
I am in between when I go off the wagon.
When
on the
you
weekends.
binge?
Yeah.
It happens. So there's a new phenomenon because keto is more popular than ever right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new phenomenon going around that it's called the Keto Crotch.
Uh-oh.
I've seen that, but I never clicked on it because it looks stupid.
Well, yeah, but it's
I didn't send
inside
this
the
in.
pallet house worthy.
I did not send this in.
I actually sent it in.
Okay.
I sent in one of my own. I was like, Keto Crotch. So what this is I
So
guess
like limp dick or something.
I think it's chicks.
no, it's definitely more chicks. No,
Oh,
limp,
okay.
limp dick, you can eat all the carbs you want or don't. I still occasionally fall prey to that.
Yeah.
So the Keto Crotch is apparently if you're just eating meats all the time and you're not getting the fiber in there and everything and eating kind of a more balanced diet, if you're eating more of the fatty meats, so say you're eating briskets and bacons all the time, then it throws off your pH balance inside your body. And if you get too high of a pH, then bacteria starts to form. And in particular, I guess the vagina is extremely susceptible to pH swings.
Okay.
So if you're constantly eating bacon,
I knew that.
I don't own one, so I'll
Yeah.
take your word for it.
I've been renting one for a while. I'd like to own it. I just don't think I'm allowed to.
It's on lease.
Yeah, it's like the long-term
Yeah.
lease. The problem is that like I've signed on the dotted line, but at any given moment the car can drive away.
Yeah,
You should just start Ubering.
you can only
No shit.
because you do have to keep the miles down on that thing, right?
Yeah.
You can't go over a certain mile.
Apparently, yes, we have to keep the miles very low.
Way low.
Yeah, you drive it once a week or so.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Don't
just
go
park
for
it in the garage and dust it with a diper every now and then.
I was thinking about going on a road trip. No, you're not. Thinking
Yeah.
about going to 7-Eleven and back.
Can I check up the rear end and run it back a little ways?
Yeah, there's something wrong with the tailpipe.
Yeah.
Let me check that out.
Changing oil.
But apparently,
Pull
if
some
the-
miles off of
if
it.
the pH goes north, then it does affect that, and it creates a stink. And they're now referring to it as keto crotch.
Really?
Yeah, like it is developing.
Who's they?
Apparently, it's all over. I don't know who's
The
admitting
internet.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Everyone.
So I take it.
who's admitting it. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm down 15 pounds, but I stink.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Thanks
I
to the keto crotch.
Yeah, I don't know who's admitting that, but I guess
I would like to think that the vagina is a more well balanced machine than that. It takes a lot and it does a lot. I feel like it should be able to adjust accordingly.
I just don't think it can't take 4 pounds of bacon for 3 months every week. Putting it in.
I don't know.
Apparently, it's too much. So
says the internet.
So be careful of those skinny girls.
Yeah.
'Cause they're not eating enough carbs to fend off the keto crotch.
But
That's
they
a
look
horrible
good.
side effect.
I get, yeah.
I mean, that's a legitimate one. You're not eating carbs. You're like, I'm cranky. My vagina smells like a foot. Things are going poorly
Yeah,
here.
throw that out at your ladies, gentlemen. See how that works.
Yeah.
You smell gym socks?
Or hey, if your wife's doing keto, get back to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to do a research group.
Right.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people out here who are doing low carb. Let us know.
So if we're doing low carb, we don't have anything to worry about.
I assume that it's probably similar to like the taste of our nut, right? Like our pH skyrockets or something. I bet it changes. Now I've never sampled. So I wouldn't know, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now I feel like I'm
Damn
not
it.
scientific. I'm just Alex Jones. I'm
I'll
over here
run some experiments this weekend.
That's
and get back
right.
to you.
Yeah, exactly.
All
the
in the na-
listeners want that.
All
Yeah.
in the name of science.
Right.
All right, guys, I ate bread for a week.
Yeah.
Took one to
I'm
the
on a
mouth.
steady diet of mangoes. Tell me what you think.
Right.
They've always said that if you eat a bunch of vitamin C, you'll actually get like a fruity ejaculate. There's the proper term.
Yeah, then but all your eating's vitamin C. Good luck staying alive.
Yeah, that's true. Just oranges for life.
Yeah.
Yum.
Well, better than bacon for life, apparently.
I don't know. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to find out. I just don't know. But apparently it's a big thing. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
I would love to see some listeners send in. All right, don't say my name on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, like gym socks. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But she's down 20 pounds, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, be careful with that.
Yeah. Let us know.
Yeah, and sign up, get a fresh email.
Yeah.
Never used before.
Never-
KetoCrotch@gmail.com.
We've
It's true.
we've never gotten so many anonymous emails ever.
Exactly.
Wouldn't that be the truth?
Yeah.
We get a
We should put a Craigslist ad out there.
I'm running a research experiment.
Yeah.
Are you on the keto diet?
Are you on low carb?
Yeah.
We'd like you to come in. Ooh, there's a job.
Yeah. Then you get a bunch of them big doctors popsicle sticks and you do sniff tests. That'd be brutal.
Oh,
It's not a tongue depressor.
Yeah.
okay, it
Too
is.
late.
Right.
I can't help it.
That is great.
Check my tonsils. No, not with this one.
Number 2 is bad.
Yeah.
Number 2 is really bad.
How would you? Is that a deli?
Yeah.
Something tells me you'd like to go out for bacon.
Right. There's no chance this girl's all keto.
Yeah, this girl is cheating.
Right.
Cheating on what? No, just her
Yeah.
diet. You're cool.
That's carb crotch if I've ever smelt it. Yeah.
Oh, the dirty side effects of dieting.
Oh,
What can you do?
I do get stopped up. You seriously? You stopped up?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the one thing. So just eat eat a bunch of spinach or something
Yeah.
high
Well, I
fiber,
eat salads all the time.
and it's not fixing you up.
I honestly think without eating the carbs, I don't think I'm stopped up so much as I am just I'm not eating as much and not eating
I
as so
think
much
that's what it is.
not eating as much stuff that makes me want to blow it out, So it's like I'm just not as regular as I once was.
Right.
I find that if I fall off the wagon that first day that I just eat a boatload of carbs,
Yeah,
that's
you-
pretty much a guarantee the next day I won't at all.
Yeah.
Crap. I'm completely backed up. And then it's like the floodgates after the second day of
Yeah, because
carbs.
it used to be when I would go out to dinner and just eat whatever I wanted and drink whatever I wanted, it'd be like,
fairly regular.
we've got to go home. Like the countdown clock has begun.
Yeah. I'm
And-
a once a dayer when I'm eating normal, when I'm on the diet every other day.
Yeah.
That's weird.
so.
Man, it's crazy.
Yeah. But I think it's because I eat a lot less. is what
Yeah,
it is.
that's definitely.
You got that keto buttle.
Yeah. For
It's
sure.
tough.
Yeah.
It's tough out there.
Smells awesome.
Well, and it's got. I mean,
Got the opposite effect on guys.
Yeah.
Like lavender. Yeah.
Speaking of dookies, you see that dude in the Home Depot? There was a guy like last week who went into a Home Depot bathroom and he was running in there and he was like, "I'm gonna blow it up!" Like when he ran in the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
no.
So this guy runs
He
in.
like said to the employees, like, "You better get out of here because I'm about to blow this up."
Yeah. Like, but joking around in the bathroom.
So he's in there slinging mud.
Yeah, and the employee
FBI
goes out.
shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called like the bomb squad and everything,
Right.
and they came in.
SWAT
like,
team comes
Imagine
roll.
coming out to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, damn.
Whistling. I gotta get some fucking lumber.
SWAT team shoulder rolling up in that motherfucker.
What took
Yeah.
you so long? You said you knew what you were getting.
Right.
You'll never believe this. baby.
Exactly.
I had to take a deuce. Yeah, he runs in there and says to an employee on his way in, where he's like, "Oh, you better get out of here. I'm going to blow this thing up," which is a fairly common statement.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The person that
That reported it.
is a fucking nerd.
Hear something,
That's
say something.
2019, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem. We're all super sensitive now. Like, because what happened was they're probably like, "Yeah, I know what he's saying, but if he's not,
I saw that corporate training video.
But I was
where
about to say,
need
yeah,
something.
Yeah, I bet that's exactly it. 'cause
Yeah.
they
see
get
something,
trained.
say something."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Yeah, so that guy got completely fucked and like ended up coming out to the police, like dealing with the whole nine.
Do you think he got like they pressed charges and all that shit?
No way.
Oh, he was explaining to him. He was like, "It was a shit. Like, I
Come
was
in here, see what I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go in there and
You'll
tell me
see.
if you want to be in there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
officially blew it up.
Yeah.
It's a term.
It should be. I should be walking out to a thank
Congratulations.
you. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you for
why
getting
aren't you
everybody out.
clapping?
Yeah. Send in the robot.
Yeah. Get him to flush it.
Yeah, we're gonna,
Right.
we're gonna need a robot to clean that mess up.
For sure.
You don't want humans getting in there.
Yeah.
Pink eye will be everywhere.
You got to be careful with what you say, though, because a term like that, it's easily misconstrued. I mean, I kind of get it,
I
but
don't like living in that world.
but in a bathroom,
Yeah.
I would have understood that was a joke. It
Yeah,
just
especially when
adds
the
up.
dude's like stiff leg trotting right past you, like
Sweating.
Yeah. But you see, that could have been a sign. Like, the guy looked nervous.
Yeah,
He was
Yeah,
sweating like crazy.
Exactly. I could just see the employee run into the
he was walking
customer
funny.
service. This guy was sweating. Said he was going to blow it up.
He looked nervous. He was waddling
Yeah.
around. He reeked a keto crotch.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I may have just saved us, guys.
you guys called the bomb squad. You fucked up. We need hazmat, not bomb
Yeah.
squad.
Yeah, I don't know what ended up happening to the guy, but I know that the cops showed up and like booked him and like.
Do we know where this was?
I feel like it was south of here. That's all I know.
It sounds like a Florida thing.
Everything sounds like a Florida thing.
It does.
You know, as soon as you go, wait, they were naked or they were chewing on a face, it's like, oh, Florida.
Why is Florida such a different like? It's
I
its
don't
own
know.
thing. Like what's crazy is it's a beautiful weather, great landscape. Like it should be better than the rest of the country.
think
And
if
it's
you're-
like it's just like weird, crazy people down there. It's just
Yeah.
it's and old people. It's just
I think that it's just where the crazy homeless people know to go. Like,
Because they can live outside?
yeah.
But I don't think it's all crazy homeless people doing all the crazy
No,
stuff.
but I think
right?
over time, right?
Yeah.
Like over
Yeah.
time, you get more and more crazy people migrating down because they can just be homeless there.
Well, I know for a fact
Then they
that
have kids.
if
It
I
just
was ever
creates-
homeless, I wouldn't stand around Richmond.
No, it's cold.
I'd hit Route 1 and start walking south till I could stand the winters.
For sure.
I mean,
and that's about it. So
Yeah.
maybe they migrate down there. But I also don't think it helped that they opened all those pain clinics. Like they just
Yeah,
hand
that's
out
right.
they hand out pain meds.
Yeah.
So not only do you get the homeless people coming down, but you get junkies
yeah.
that intentionally go there so they can get their hands on
Yeah,
pain meds
That's it.
all the time. So now you've got homeless crazies, you've got
tourists,
junkies,
old people,
and then what do you have?
Rich
you have,
people.
You have retired old people.
a lot of rich people
So
go
you
there
got
because
you
of
got
no sales
senile, junkie, and schizophrenic.
Yeah.
So you start just mixing those together. I mean, occasionally a face gets chewed.
Exactly.
Par for the course.
Literally.
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah.
That's
While you're on the
insane.
golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird place, man.
It is.
And like everything is cheap.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part, outside of Miami, like Florida's relatively cheap because
Well,
it's
it's-
swampland.
I was going to say what's crazy about Florida is, most people go to just the big cities, but like if you've ever driven down it or across it, it's farmland.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a ton of just
For days,
Yeah.
it feels like.
Yeah.
Like we drove down a couple years ago. We were driving to Fort Myers, and we stopped in Daytona and stayed the night. And then the next night we drove across Florida down through Orlando. And once you got through Orlando and kept going west to Fort Myers, I mean, it was farmland for miles and like we probably went like 60 miles and didn't even see a gas station.
Wow.
And you're like, this is weird, right? You wouldn't think it'd be this desolate and
Right.
It's such a large state too, you know.
It is.
You get to the border and you're like, we're in Florida. It's like you're not even anywhere close to where you want to be right now.
You're in the South.
You're halfway
Florida
home.
starts when you get past the South.
Yeah.
Because there's that little part in the Panhandle that feels like the rest of the South.
Yeah.
And then you start getting down into the long part.
Yeah.
It's just a different world.
Yes.
Crazy.
Junkies galore. Enjoy that, Florida. The
Be
pain
safe
med,
out there.
Pain med thing was real smart. Give everyone pain meds.
We do have a serious problem with that,
Dude,
man.
you were
for
just
real.
saying gas gauges. My gas gauge, like you were talking about gas.
Yeah.
My gas gauge the other day, my daily driver, like the car fucked up, like the battery went dead. I kept trying to start it, like the gauges are kind of bouncing all over. Something happened where my gas needle spun all the way around, and now it's
like,
sitting on the backside of the little rubber prong that sticks out.
Oh, wow.
So every time I start my car, it just goes to the prong, like to empty, no matter how full.
So you don't know how much gas, or
no idea.
does your car not have the digital readout?
I can flip through and go to the readout,
but
I don't trust the readout for shit.
because I've had 2 cars that had bad gas gauges.
Really?
Yeah, not to that.
It
where,
makes
like,
you insane.
Oh yeah, like I would have the car I had a couple cars ago. It was a Zuzu Rodeo. That thing would it just didn't make sense, and I'd have to fill up every 200 miles, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's pretty regularly.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I'm freaking out constantly
Yeah.
because I'll go to that thing and I'll be like, huh. Like I drove all the way to Baltimore the other day, and I was like, most of the way back, it's still like you got enough to get home, and I'm like, that's not accurate.
Yeah.
I can't possibly get home. I'm pulling over. Like,
So do you use the trip meter, or what do you use?
I've got, if I flip through enough stuff on the screen, there's one that says miles to empty, and I
Oh,
can
you're just saying that doesn't work.
It just makes me panicked.
He doesn't
No,
believe
my
that.
gas gauge doesn't work.
But the miles to empty does.
It pretends it does.
Who knows?
But have you ever noticed that, like, when it says you have 300 miles, you can down to 250, go back to 300 on you as you're going down the road? Like, there's big swings based on
Yeah,
how
that's
fast you're going.
Yeah, because how much gas you're using.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
and,
like, if I pull
depending
off
on,
the
like-
highway and start stopping going, it's going to plummet.
Well, and I've seen them get down to like 60 miles. It'll be like, you have 60 miles left, and then you'll park and get back in. It'll be 30.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, and then you'll be driving. It'll jump to 45, and then it'll drop to. You're like,
So when it
okay.
gets to 100, I panic and fill up. Because
yeah,
I don't know what it's going to do.
Or you could just do what I used to do is just fill up every X amount of miles, or use the trip meter and determine how big your tank is, and determine.
That's
now
what-
you're just-
That's what we have to do.
And then determine you probably get 18, 20, 25,
Yeah,
whatever.
you just kind of pull an average. It's freaking me out, though, because, like, as a little kid, I was always like, how's the gas? How's the gas? Like, it was like a neurotic thing of mine as a
Yeah.
kid. And now I feel it all coming back because I don't really know. And I'm panicked all the time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great.
You got a car like that, you said?
Yeah, one of the cars for my youngest stepson. His car is that way. Just
Mhm.
had to teach him right away. When it gets to 300, fill that thing up.
Yep.
And you better press reset
Yeah.
when you fill it. So that's what he does.
At least you had a number. Like, I'm still kind of figuring it out
You could do 300.
pretty safely.
Yeah.
Let's
It
hope.
all depends on the size of your tank, because some cars have huge tanks and some have tiny tanks. And
Yeah,
there's
for a
no-
vehicle that these days that's relatively new within the last 10, 15 years. to
Yeah,
do
your car
less-
should go 300.
less than 300 miles is insane. No cars do
Yeah.
that really.
I hope. I'm figuring it out. I'm working through it. It's a new phenomenon for me.
The more or less they gauge the size of the tank based on that.
The miles
On
per
distance.
gallon.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So
'Cause I'm sitting here-
My Lexus had like a 8 or 10 gallon tank.
But it was a hybrid, so it would go forever.
right.
Yeah.
It would still get 400 miles to tank. You know.
Okay.
Every once in a while, like my diesel would get maybe 400 or 500 if you
Wow.
pull it up.
Yeah, but diesels are crazy, and they usually have big tanks.
Same thing with my F-150 that was a 5-liter was that way too. If you would fill it up, but it had a 37-gallon.
I was going to say some of them have 2
Damn.
tanks.
Yeah, not Yeah, I don't know if they've done the 2 tanks anymore, but you can maybe get a bigger one with 2 tanks. But they used to be very common in the older F-150s,
Yeah.
like the 90s.
Well, I'm freaked out constantly.
I
wouldn't
just set
pay
your
to
trip
fix
meter
it.
at 300. Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
that's a new thing I can do. Now that I know that might, I'd like to see how that,
Looks.
works in conjunction with the two.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
Because I just don't when you look down and see it pinned at E, you're like, oh God, what? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You could always just change that module out too.
Yeah, I just got to pull the whole dash. It seems like
No, it's in the tank.
No, it's buried beneath the rubber thing that sticks out. So like
It's
it
like
can't
gone
come
backwards or
up.
something.
It went so like the rubber pins here, it spun all the way around. It's stuck here. It was weird. My battery died. The whole thing freaked out and spun all the way around. And now it
Yeah,
still
that's
just wants to
weird.
go up, but
Yeah.
it can't. It's got.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't mean it's not in the tank.
Yeah, it's not a tank. It's a gauge issue.
No,
No,
I'm saying
he's
that
saying-
doesn't mean that it's not in the tank.
I believe it's not because I had a full tank of gas. I was starting it. The car wasn't starting, and my gauges were acting funny because the battery was like low, and it was like chug, 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 and that bitch just spun around
Yeah.
like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's really odd. I basically need to pull the dash somehow and just flick it over the thing and put it back in. I'll be
There you
good.
go.
Which means I got to do a lot of shit.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, that I don't want to do.
Pulling the dash sucks.
It's the worst.
Dude,
Does
And you
suck.
always crack something. You're like, well,
Yeah.
I don't never look right.
it's one of those things, too, that's like if you have the tools and know the tricks, it's an easy gig.
Yeah.
But you never have the tools and you never know the tricks. And you
Yeah.
never-
Ely's
never-
got them.
It's the same with pulling a door.
Yeah.
Like, there'll be a screw you never
Oh, like
saw.
a door panel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Every time.
It's crazy.
No, ever since working on my car at Ely's house, everything feels like shit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You got every tool there.
Everything.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Ely
There's a
Motors
way
the
to
place
make
to be.
something happen for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you like to beat on big things.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wishing I had been pulling up to your house when that belt blew out, and
You
I
gotta
was
fix that thing, by the way.
going slow.
So what happened when your belt blew out?
It became a Miata, not a supercharged Miata.
Oh, so you can still drive it?
yeah, and I was wondering, Ely, do you think that
Usually most if a belt
It's
is
got
gone,
2.
I've
yeah,
got
but
two
usually
belts?
they're tied to multiple things.
Yeah. There's one that's for water pump and the main things, and then the other
This
one
was
is
just power steering?
supercharger.
And that's what went.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure I lost like AC and heat, power steering, and
I replaced a
supercharger.
belt on a vehicle I had. Went and bought it. It was like $40,
You wouldn't have lost any
$45.
heat.
Yeah, it was still there. I just know that goes around the air conditioning, but air conditioning is probably different than heat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I put it on upside down. I like drew out the diagram and like did it all
Oh,
right.
the belt?
Yeah, I put the belt on upside down, started it up. I was in a parking lot. I actually did it in the parking lot of a car wash. Started it up. It was running. All of a sudden, I hear the thing whipping around inside.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Had to call a buddy to come pick me up, go past the first auto parts store I bought the last belt at, get another belt.
Yep.
It was a $45 mistake in 2 hours of my life.
Yeah.
I just sent Ely a picture of the pulleys, and he was like, "It goes like this." I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, but
It's
but the
jacked
belt
up.
has the top and bottom,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and sometimes you can't really. They don't look that different, so
Right.
you got to be careful when you're putting them on.
Yeah.
well, I got lucky then. I put it on. It was perfect.
Yeah, but why did it shred? Why the first one shred? That's the weird part.
Uh,
It's a
we-
line wrong.
We think it's out of alignment.
think?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I feel like this new belt held up great. It doesn't show any signs of wear.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on.
might want to buy another one and throw it in
Oh,
the
it's
glove box.
it's there.
Yeah,
You bought
Yeah.
another one?
You damn
Yeah.
right. I went in there and I was like, "What's the best one you got at this size?" And I was like, "I'll take 2 of them." They came back there like, "We got 1 Duralast and 1 Value Craft."
yeah.
I was like, "Well, fuck me with
Yeah.
Value
It's
Craft."
better than something.
On the back of Duralast, it has like, it's got this and made out of this and all this.
Yeah.
And I turn over Value Craft and it just says made in Mexico.
It says
Right.
belt.
I was like, that's the whole write up?
Yeah.
Made in Mexico? Like,
Not made with that.
Fair enough.
I buy multiple shit whenever I buy any small shit like that anymore. Like every time I buy bulbs, I'm buying multiple bulbs.
it's not a bad idea.
I
No.
mean,
But my problem is I forget that I have them, and I'll go to the store
Yes.
and buy them again.
Still buy another
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a whole
They don't go bad,
stockpile
though.
of shit.
Right.
you'll be good.
Well, you buy those LEDs, and they're never failing, and they're expensive as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're worth it.
Yeah.
When you put an LED in something, it's like it's over.
Yeah.
It's done. You'll never get through it.
Should be.
It's amazing.
And don't buy another one. You should follow up with the warranty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
then you
don't-
got
I
to keep
don't
up with that.
Yeah, I don't follow up with much warranties. Like I bought that belt and it was like 1 year warranty. I was like, if it gets home, I'll be psyched.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The girl was like, well, just keep your receipt. I'm like, well, that seems like a bad business model because I'll just keep coming back and slapping them on.
I stopped at, speaking of not keeping up with warranties, and ended up spending extra money. I stopped at Sheets today and got a salad, and I always stop at Sheets and get salad, so I know what they cost. So the guy
Yeah.
rang me up, and it was like, instead of 6 and change, it was 7 and change. I was like, what's up with that? And I looked, I was like, did you, what's up with that?
What's up with that?
I said, what?
What's up with that?
I said, what's this 99-cent charge on here? He's like, oh, your drink. And I had an Arctic cup embroidered, laser engraved, that I had water in. I brought it in to fill up. I was like, dude, and I hadn't even filled it up. I was like, this is empty. This is my cup. And he was like, he reached down, got to his mic, was
God.
calling in the. I was like, forget it, dude.
Right.
I'm
This
out of
asshole
here.
said he's going to blow up the bathroom. This
Yeah.
asshole said he's going to blow up the bathroom.
I'm like,
There's
dude.
acid in his cup.
I'm like,
Yeah.
let me out of here. I do not want the 99 cents
That
to
bad.
have to sit here and
Right.
watch you fiddle fuck with the manager.
I will
Let me
always
leave.
pay 99 cents to not have that conversation.
Every time.
He's like, "Are you
Every
sure?"
time.
And I was like, "Yes, I'm gone. I'm already a ghost. Like,
Yeah.
fuck it."
Yeah. Like,
There was no ill
you fill
will
your
there.
cup up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's already paid for.
yeah,
Yeah,
Enjoy yourself.
Exactly.
Have a soda.
yeah.
Have a pop on me.
I did walk out and then double back and got a soda. I was like, I paid for it. I'm gonna
There
fucking
you
fill this
go.
thing up with a
Yeah.
Diet Coke
Smart.
while I'm here.
Yep.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, if I've already paid for it, I'm going to go get
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
But-
I don't blame you on that move.
I don't have.
But
patience.
there's something to be said for that I just don't have time for that shit. Like, if
No.
you're gonna start arguing with me about something. I'm
I
like,
do not have time for any of that.
we're talking about
No.
75 cents here. Like,
Oh, I paid for a chick's whole thing breakfast at Wawa the other day because she was fumble fucking too long.
Yeah,
yeah.
My Apple iPay's not working when I put my phone on the device.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you know
I
you're going to
tried
stand
5
there for
times.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
like,
Oh, fucking Merry Christmas. Get the fuck out of here.
yeah. Exactly.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Oh, you're an angel.
Right.
But some homeless guy asked me for $1. No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Keep that shit.
I did get hit by one guy the other day, and I actually paid him.
really.
Broke
What was
my heart.
What was the scam?
It was the day before Thanksgiving, and I'm driving back.
You said the other day, motherfucker.
Well, because it all feels like the other day to me.
I guess.
But so it was the day before Thanksgiving. I'm driving back, and I am like the king of just get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you. This dude rolled up, and he's like, man, I'm on my way back to Petersburg. And I'm in North Carolina, so already he's like, he's speaking my language. I was like, good play.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm trying to get home for Thanksgiving. And he's like, and I just realized that I don't have my cards on me. He's like, I just need to get some gas in the tank.
You a
I'm
PayPal
like,
bro?
and I'm like, and I like look at my wallet. I figure I'll give him like $2.
Yeah.
I look and I got nothing smaller than a 10.
Yeah.
And he sees that I got nothing smaller than a 10.
Yeah,
And so I'm like, motherfucker. And I
he
wanted
knew
to
he
pull,
had you when you pulled your wallet out.
Yep.
but I wanted to be like, why don't you just pull around here and I'll fill it up? That's usually, but I'd already fumbled. He saw it, and I was like, here's $10, man. Happy Thanksgiving. He's like, God bless you. And I was like, damn it. They never say God bless you if they're not scamming you.
Yeah.
When they're scamming you, it's always God bless
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
Someone who really needs it's like, man, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll pay
You're
it
the man.
forward.
Yeah,
Like, no, God bless you. I'm like, oh, you don't look like a God-fearing person.
I was sitting outside of Lucky's the other day, and I observed Angela went in to get lottery tickets or whatever and some other shit. And I was just sitting there watch, which is Lucky's is a convenience store right by in Woodlake, right by where we live.
Yeah.
And so I watched this old homeless dude, and they get like if they're good at eyeballing and hawking
Oh,
the
they
people
know,
that
yeah.
they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
they know.
There was this 20-year-old kid driving a vehicle that
Yep.
was either his parents or
Yeah,
something.
he's in a Mercedes. You're
Yeah,
like, Mark.
right?
a Grand
So
Cherokee
this
or
dude's
something.
like, "Hey man, can I help him?" And the dude, undoes his Velcro wallet or whatever, and he's like, I'm like, "Oh, this dude got it." He hands him like a 10 or
Hook,
something,
line,
and the
and
guy's
sinker.
thank you. The kid goes My man puts his shit down, goes inside. I'm watching this whole thing. Goes inside, comes out 5 minutes later with a brown bag, fucking opens up his wallet. It's got other money in his wallet. Puts the change in the wallet. Gets on his bike and pedals the fuck away. It was awesome.
Got me a free deuce and fucking $6.97 to spare.
Yeah.
This kid who got me at least did the right thing. Like, he disappeared for a while.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. And I went and parked somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, went in and got food.
You watched him?
And I just waited.
Did he go
I was
back?
like, I want to see if this son of a bitch shows up or if he left. All of a sudden, he comes strolling out. But he
Really?
waited. So, like, he got my money and then he left, which is the smart move. Like, oh, I'm filling up over here.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. God bless. He goes over there, but then he wound his way back after he thought everyone was gone. It was like round 2. And I was like, this asshole.
Yeah.
Like, he got me.
Yeah.
I just bought that dude a little bag of, like, heroin or meth or
Yep,
something.
for sure.
Speaking of
And some Cheetos.
And so I hope he bought Cheetos.
Yeah.
I'd feel much better about it if he did.
Who does meth without Cheetos?
is there another way?
Don't know.
Right.
So speaking of
Didn't even know
giving
Cheetos
out
went
money, a buddy of mine sent me this. It says Mercedes-Benz Stadium became the first U.S. stadium to go cashless this weekend. Meanwhile, the city of Philadelphia has banned cashless establishments, saying it hurts low-income customers.
I was just about to say that.
Are you for or against more stadiums going cashless?
Wow.
I am 100% anti-cashless. Like,
Me
you
too.
cannot go cashless. It's money. It's currency. If you don't accept American currency, then your place isn't accepting money. I mean, that's bullshit to me.
That's where they want to go there.
Yeah.
And I respect Philly for doing that because I read that too, that they said no more cashless establishments.
Well, I respect both. They can both do whatever the hell they want because that's the way I roll.
Yeah.
But you can't take cash. I mean, I ran into this at Wegmans not too long ago. You were saying you had to buy someone some food. I'm sitting in the Wegmans line, and this lady's trying to buy lunch. She pulls out a $20 bill. She's like an 80-year-old lady. You know, they break that stuff out. Like, they know exactly how much cash they have. She pulls it out, tries to buy her lunch, and the guy's like, oh, we don't accept cash. I'm like,
Here?
yeah, at the Wegmans.
They don't accept any cash.
At that, like, it's like the salad bar place. Like,
Okay,
it's different
yeah.
cash registers, like the
Yeah,
to-go
yeah, yeah.
area. They're like, no, we don't accept cash. And she's like, what? And they're like, well, can you back out the charge? Like, she was going to go put her food back. And he's like, I can't. I need to get a manager. So they started calling in the manager, and everything's coming over. And I just got out of line and walked over and was like, ma'am, allow me to buy your lunch. Like, all of us are going to stand here for 15 minutes if we have to go through this. Like, your $8 lunch, that's on me.
Right.
But she was like, oh, thank you so much. She's like, I did that for someone else
You swipe that 20 out
just
of her
last
hand?
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, interest,
I
bitch.
take cash.
That's right.
Yeah. And since then, though, the Wegmans is now taking cash.
Well, now your knees are going to hurt because you just pulled landscaping dude.
That's not what I thought she was. Like, tell me if this tastes like Keto Crotch.
Yeah.
I mean, I
My
get it.
fingers hurt.
I mean, I get it. Like, there's the argument for safety, right? Because you don't want to have, at the end of the night, tens of thousands of dollars of cash around your establishment at a stadium, per se.
Yeah.
I also get, like, the government wants to monitor.
I don't know that I get that.
I mean, people are more apt to rob cash than.
But they've been for 100 fucking years. Why does it need to change?
I'm saying if you get rid of cash, you should get rid of theft on some level. Like, that's why 7-Eleven drops everything over $20.
Cybercrime is a much bigger industry than mugging. As far
True,
as dollars,
but it's
that
not
are
as
lost.
violent.
Sure, I'll give you that.
So, and I think, honestly, I think it's the government wanting to monitor.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
More than anything. Monitor and
Because you can't launder. It's
Yeah,
harder to launder.
It's how you launder money is with cash.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, because
Right.
you can go buy $100 seats at the Phillies game and spend a couple $100 on food and not have to worry about it.
Absolutely. They want to get rid of that underground.
But that
industry.
being said, too, like, you got to think the generation behind us, they don't use cash at all.
That's their
to
problem.
play devil's advocate here, you can always buy, like, with illegal money, you can buy
Gift
like
cards,
Visa gift cards and spend them. So you can buy like $1,000 Visa gift card and go like burn through it.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, I mean, that's how you can launder cash. You can take cash to go buy them, or you can go online and buy them somewhere or do something. There's always
But is
ways
it a
to-
slippery slope where the Kroger's not going to take your $100 because they don't accept cash now? Like,
that's why I'm glad Philadelphia at least stood up and said, no, come on, there's people who spend cash. Like, I don't know. I mean, do you carry cash in your wallet?
Never. If
Do you carry cash in your wallet?
I'll throw a $20 bill, I'll slide it in there, and I'll have that in there forever.
Yeah, I have $26 on me. It's not
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, it's
But
rare.
I always have some cash on me.
The last
I can't
$20 bill
do
I
without
had
cash.
in my pocket, I left on your bar because you bought all the beer. So
Yeah, that $20 is actually on
it's probably
my,
in your pocket.
It's not. It's actually in my office next to the computer. Like, I didn't want this money. One day I'll need it, and I'll grab it. Look, you
I
have a
have a
little
5.
cash. That's
Yeah.
good. You need a little bit of cash on you.
Yeah, that's why I'll usually have a 20, but as of right now, I don't have anything.
I always carry cash, which is it's horrible because my wife never carries cash. I swear she stumbles across something once or twice a week that requires only cash. I
Yeah.
don't know how she does it.
Can I get that $5?
Yeah, it's always it's $40.
Well, and
cash.
there's like, the generation ahead of us, they don't carry credit. Like, they think that's silly.
Yeah.
Like, our dads all just straight rock wads of cash.
Yeah.
yeah.
Every time my dad comes to visit, he goes to the bank daily.
Yeah.
I'm like, old man, you are fucking up.
I got a buddy like that who's like 52, and he just
And he only runs cash.
That's it.
Yeah, so you got to be able to take both forms of money.
Yeah.
I think that's messed up. That stadium sucks.
I am with you. Like, I understand. I feel that stadium should be able to do whatever they want, but I'm with you. Cash is king. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
and
the real.
If you're
money.
concerned about people stealing your whatever, I mean, if you're in a stadium, it's impossible to track all the times where you swiped it. I swiped it here for a hot dog. I
Yeah.
swiped it here for a beer. I swiped it here. Someone with a skimmer is going to get a lot more money than if you'd gone in there with $100 cash saying, I'm going to spend $100 today.
Yeah.
I don't like that cashless thing.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm with you.
This is the first time I'm going to side with Philly ever.
Yeah.
And the last.
I hope.
Yeah,
If
for
this
sure.
starts a trend where I'm all Philly all the time, we can.
Can we talk about this guy? Who's the Whistle Dick SNL guy who's Kate Beckinsale, like, hit him
Pete-
up?
Oh,
Pete
Pete
Davidson.
Yeah,
Davidson.
why are we so concerned with him now? Just because
That-
he's, like, borderline suicidal, so
Yeah.
everyone's like,
Well, he's
we
got a
need to save
magic
him?
dick, apparently.
Yeah, he's got
Oh,
a
really?
huge
He must
hog.
be a cocksmith because
But what's making you, like, did you read an article, or you're saying...
there has been women who have come out, and Ariana Grande said he had
Yeah.
the biggest dick she'd ever been with.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And he's all like, I don't have a big dick. Come on, Kate Beckinsale. Come
Yeah.
on. Whoever. He
she,
hooks
like,
up.
just reached out to him on Twitter out of nowhere, I
And
thought.
she's like 20 years older than him.
He
they were-
has hooked up with, like, there's stories of him, like, a hostess comes on, and then at the after party, they're making out with Pete Davidson. The guy,
He's
Really?
a goofy looking
Must-
fuck.
That's what I was saying.
He's unattractive.
oh, yeah,
Right.
he's like a Post Malone looking kind of, without the tats. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, he kind of has that grungy, like,
Like,
Well, you
him
know
and
what
her
he's
were
most
just,
famous
we're
for.
just necking at fucking
Yeah, the
right in
game
the
or
middle of
something.
the hockey
he,
game.
but he's popular now because of that, because he
His
gets
dad-
I
women.
think he's popular.
His
because
dad
of
died
his-
in 9/11. His dad
Oh,
was a
really?
firefighter who died in
I
9/11.
didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But why does that make him a
I think
hero?
he's
Well, I-
popular now because of the suicide stuff.
Well, no, he's popular
That
because of the
doesn't hurt.
Ariana Grande stuff.
Yeah.
That's what.
I never heard of the Ariana
But that's
Grande
when
thing.
he propelled from like SNL
Yeah.
fame. He was always
He was a part-time SNL dude.
He was he was
not
hooked on,
good.
he was hooked on drugs at one point. And he's been fighting depression his whole life.
Okay.
So he's always had that angle. So he is kind of like in that little wheelhouse that everybody like wants to coddle and take care of. Like, oh, you're on drugs
Yeah.
and you're depressed. I feel bad.
Yeah.
But then
Your dad died. That's-
yeah, and then he made a comment about the one-eyed Navy SEAL guy who was
That's where
elected.
it started. for
But
me.
before that, the Ariana Grande thing is what propelled him into the mainstream of like the common knowledge. Like he became part of the lexicon of America.
all I
there.
could think of
What,
was
because he was dating her?
yes.
Yeah, it became a really big deal.
Like George Costanza said. Remember in the episode he got a picture of a good-looking chick and was telling everybody it was his ex-girlfriend, so all the hot chicks were falling in
Yeah.
love with him.
Yeah.
And
So-
then like he sat down next to a hairdryer and it burned up, and then he never had another date again. Like
He'd been a known player. Like he'd been hooking up with girls. So like he had a mild fame. Well, he has SNL fame. There's always that.
But he was back then. He was like one of those not starring, like supporting
secondary
cast member.
player
Yeah.
at best.
Yeah.
But then he started hooking up with all the chicks that came through, so everyone started taking note. So one segment of the population started taking note. Then he got in that controversy with the Navy SEAL guy. So then that brought a whole nother level of popularity where now you're aware of who Pete Davidson is. Now it's just going back to then he did the suicide, like, I'm going to off myself. that brought in a whole nother group of people.
Well,
Now, he's
Andy
managed
goes-
to tap a lot.
He goes
of
hot and heavy. Where like he and Ariana Grande were like dating for 5 minutes, getting tattoos. 10 minutes
Tattoos.
later, engaged 16 minutes later, fist fighting. 20 minutes later, then divorced, not ever married.
They didn't. Oh, they broke up.
No, yeah.
he's volatile. The dude is volatile as
Really?
shit. I mean,
Yeah.
highs and lows, talking about killing himself, talking about being happy,
Yeah.
hooking up with every girl that's out there. Oh, I'm hooked on drugs. Now I'm sober. Okay, now I just smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always finding some gray area. But the guy has managed to weasel his way into becoming at least one of the more well-known people, despite being moderately funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't find him to
I've
be...
never found him. I've never seen him in a skit where I'm like, you're bringing a lot to this.
Whenever he plays like the young dumb kid,
Yeah.
that's his wheelhouse.
Where he's not acting.
Yeah,
he
you
just
got it.
caught shit for saying something about the church. You see
Yeah,
that?
he was comparing the Catholic Church and Michael Jackson, was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
I mean, it's definitely a pedo joke.
Yeah.
I can't think about church without thinking of Burr. Did you ever see? It's a meme, but he went on a morning show, and they were like the blonde du jour and the good looking dude were like, "Don't you think you were a little hard on the Catholic Church there?" And he's like, "Don't you think they went a little too far?" Like,
Yeah.
that dude is hilarious.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I don't even want to get down that road. I've been having my own misgivings. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah, you should do that.
I will. Well, I was raised Catholic, so I'm like,
Pro
I mean,
kid
always
touching.
you're taking that the wrong direction, you son of a
I was
bitch.
finishing your sentence.
Yeah, I guess we're not as tight as I thought, because that is not where my sentence was going. You son of a bitch, you're the worst.
I don't understand why not just remove the celibacy part.
Yeah.
Certainly would seem to open up some doors. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't notice as much issues coming from people who can fuck.
Half
Right.
the priests are like, all right, I'm retiring. I'm
Yeah,
out.
Exactly.
That would be odd. That would be
Yeah.
damning at best.
Oh man, I've been here 22 years now. I'm just gonna call it.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
So I can marry this fella?
I can marry this 12-year-old. I'm back in. That's not what we mean by.
And keep my job? Can I get that in writing?
Well, consider me out of the closet.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah.
You guys kill me. That was a long ass episode, man.
Yeah.
How
We should-
long?
Hour 47.
Oh man, we give these people too much.
I feel like we should just divide that in half. Come back in 2 weeks.
They should
Bones.
definitely give us a 5-star rating.
That'd be
since
the
we're
least you
giving
could
them
do.
all this content.
Hour 47. You could go and give us a 5-star rating
Yeah.
wherever you get podcasts. That
Or a
would
Lucky
be,
Charm beer.
dude.
Or that.
I wish a motherfucker would. Let's put that out there. We need some of that Smash Mouth, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah,
Smart Mouth.
Smart Mouth.
Smart
Smash
Mouth.
Mouth.
Lucky
Hey
Charm.
now,
You're an
all-star.
If you haven't had a chance to send us any topics, we'd love to hear from you.
If Smash Mouth wants to give us some Smart Mouth, they can do that too.
That would be good. Reach on out to us at ITPH Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, or you can always find us on our Facebook page, or just send us topics at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. I know I check that one, but I'm old.
Yeah.
Healy checks the other stuff. Troy just shows
MySpace.
up once a week.
I'm on Facebook.
That's true. You're on Facebook. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do us a favor this week. Go out and Cincinnati swap somebody.
We didn't even talk about the best Facebook post of all time that I posted that a listener sent us. Mike sent us. We'll
Oh.
talk about it next time.
Dude, Mike's been killing it.
Yeah.
Hey, happy birthday, young Jimmy. Hope you're having a good one. We'll be talking to you guys soon. Cheers.
Cheers.
I thought you were going to say cheers. You freaked me out. I was excited.
Gotcha.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
Marginal. That was a really good podcast.